It might not show up on my phone.
You are live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another weird day in this wacky world of darkness. For this is darkness in Dublin. This scene is going to be taking place within the fabled Agrabah Nights, a mage meetup within Dublin. That's in the. I believe Evan mentioned that this was somewhere in the center of the city, although I could be wrong. Today, our intrepid adventurers are carrying a little bit of computer gear with them as they enter the shop. You are greeted by a tender at the door, who then, gives you a seat and asks you for your orders. You give them whatever orders you wish, and you are now free to do as you wish.
So, Eric's arriving because he's not sure when he tells you guys, "Oh, hey, we're taking a little trip on the web. Bring a computer." He's hopeful that you guys will bring something decent, but he's got a pair of burner laptops just in case. Just saying, along with some VR gear.
Probably you borrowed it from your office.
He probably owns it, to be honest. You use burner computers for certain aspects of hacking, so.
Yeah.
I do not have it on my blue book, though, if that's the question. But, with his resources, he should
hand wave him just to let the scene go.
Okay. So, he probably would have gotten there first, a little bit early. He would have sent each of Oscar and Sketch. The message would have basically said, hey, planning a little trip should be fun. Might be a learning experience. Show up at Agrabah Nights at this time and place. Bring a computer if you're able to. And he would have also asked you guys in advance for... he would have asked Sketch, not Oscar. Because Ben never got back to me, so we're just going to say he didn't ask her. He would have asked for examples of what you would want to have as your icon, as he calls it, if you're in a fantasy, modern, or science fiction environment. Provided those suggestions and was acknowledged. So, yeah, at this point, Eric's just sitting there waiting for you guys to show up.
I arrive with the most basic ass laptop because it's not the greatest. Even Eric just looks at it like, oh, honey. Just puts it down with this like awkward little smile, like, do they do good? With this little basic ass fucking HP laptop.
Can I roll a D10 to see which edition of Windows this is? No, I'm just kidding.
You open it and open it and you're like, holy shit, it actually has Windows 10. Okay, but it's just so basic and every other function. Like, all right then.
Okay. Yeah, he'll probably set you up with the burner laptop then, just so that you don't ruin yours. Ben, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, waiting on your intro.
Yeah, Oscar will be walking in. She's got one of her disposable laptops she can use for this. Tucked under one arm.
Excellent. We have a spare then. Hooray. Eric will basically get you guys set up and comfortable. Luckily we sit on like really comfy cushion type things here, so you can just let your body lay back essentially. He gives you guys each a set of VR gear. If Oscar already has her own, cool, but he's setting them out like here if you need them. Shows you how to use them.
It will be probably be a pair of VR like a headset along that you can plug into your computers, along with a set of basically haptic feedback gloves.
Yep.
Oscar looks hesitant for a moment, but then plugs his stuff into the thing and very, very slowly pulls on the gloves and the goggles.
You're not sure what it is, Oscar, but for the past, going here, Eric offered, said you were going on a trip to the web. The nights previously, you're not sure what it is, but you've been having odd nightmares of you, like really foreboding and dreadful dreams of you jacking into, like, a computer interface or some kind of network or a server, and every time that happens, you go into foreboding zones where death or torture occurs. It's stressful dreams where things begin to break and crash down around you. You're not sure what this is. You even see images of your avatar in these dreams being shredded. And you just have like this, and lately you just have this foreboding feeling every time you wish to enter the web.
Epic foreshadowing.
But yeah, okay, she's got her gear on now.
All right, you got your gear on. All right, so okay, I gotta ask, who here is entering astrally, and who here is entering through sensory visitation?
Sentry!
Yeah, you're like, I don't want a jacket.
I don't want to jack in. That shit's too scary.
Does
I jacked into
Sketch
the Matrix.
does Sketch have either correspondence to or data to?
No, I just stand there awkwardly, like flailing my arms, going, "It's not working." You know.
Then you will be doing.
Several air ups show up on Sketch's screen.
It's like,
Don't worry, just click OK. You'll be fine.
Clicks okay.
Does
very
Sketch have
sensitive.
computers?
He does. He has one dot of computers. I know.
Okay,
I know
that's
how to
enough.
turn it on.
That's enough. If you didn't have computers, you'd be like, what is this magical
What is this
device?
for? What is this foreign technology you present to me? No, I have one dot in computers.
Okay. So you get the basic idea, but you have no idea how it works.
Also,
He keeps trying to click the any button.
I mean, just saying, guys, this could happen also at some point. If we go the wrong way here.
You just eventually hear this nervous, like, Eric, am I doing this right?
Yes, you're fine, Sketch.
Okay.
Wait, no, you've got your left and right twisted. One moment. There you go. That would have been very weird when you started trying to reach for things.
So basically, once you have your headset on, once you two have your headsets on, you'll kind of have like for now, like just a 3D. You can kind of move your head in the VR goggles, and you can kind of your right hand will kind of be a mouse pointer for the mouse, because right now all you're seeing is just basically a 2D pane in front of you. That's basically the desktop. And you basically see a executable on your on the desktop that says "Enter the web." And for Eric, let me know when you're going to do your rolls to enter the web all together.
Yes. I was looking for it right now, actually, because
So basically, you roll your intelligence computers. You need 3 successes at difficulty 7, and you need
Which
at least
is
2.
And that'll be 5 in my case, because
Same.
computer aptitude. Well, no, you don't have to make a roll. You're using VR.
You're using sensory visitation. You don't need to roll.
Yeah. Okay, so that's intelligence computers diff 5. That's going to be, and trinary isn't going to lower that further, right?
No, I don't. No, trinary won't lower it further.
Okay. That's going to be 7.
Oh wait, you're using data, right?
Yes, but
So-
that doesn't make it an Arete roll.
No, it doesn't. But you use difficulty 6 because you're using data, not correspondence.
Oh, so that'd be diff 4 in my case. Okay.
Yeah, so you're diff 4 now.
And I just sent it to Ben instead of the dice bot. Yay me. Just tell me I got lots of 10s, Ben. 1. There we go.
You got exactly
1 success, actually.
3 1s and 3 10s and a 5.
Not good. I'm good. I got one success.
So you're gonna have to make an extended action basically to get the required successes you need, because you need 3.
Oh, it says you need 3? Shit.
Yeah, you need 3.
There
you go.
Okay.
So
so here's the thing. He's not immediately jacking us all into the web. The immediate goal is kind of like the loading program in the Matrix, just to acclimate people here, because God knows I'm not throwing us straight into the interwebs.
all right. So basically, you're taking yourselves into like a private server space.
Yeah, basically what's on the computer.
Okay. So basically, you two, for the sensory visitation on your desktop, when you click on web access, you'll notice that it says. You'll notice that the two computers that you have plus Eric's trinary computer all hooked up as a private, secure, almost kind of mini server. And there's 2 options. One option is jump in, and the other option is would be join private server.
Yeah, join private server. Click.
Join private server.
Okay. So as you do that, you guys click on. So I'll describe what happens for Eric in a second, but I want to describe the sensory invitation first because it's not as holistic as what Eric's going through. For you two, you don't really feel like your whole senses, like 100% of your senses are immersed. You still kind of feel the outside world a little bit, but with the haptic feedback gloves and the VR goggles, you see a little bit of a load screen, like a 2D load screen, and then all of a sudden you see these little pieces of pixelation begins to change, and then these intense colors begin to go across your screen, and different circles within circles begin to spin, and that pain, that artistic pain begins to almost lower down into a 3D space, and it begins to form into a 3D space. And what's kind of weird is you kind of still half feel yourself in the chair with an Agrabah Nights, but you also mostly 80% of your senses feels like you're standing up in this digital space, in this kind of colorful digital 3D space that doesn't really that's just completely empty at the moment. For Eric, you log in, and you feel your nerves being adjusted and transformed and put into the web. You see the same 3D space, but you feel all of your senses except your sense of smell, really, and somewhat your taste, become drenched and completely immersed in this holistic environment. You cannot feel the outside world around you at all. As far as you're concerned, this is where your mind is right now, as you kind of see yourself tunneling through the space, the 3D space, the 2D space turning to a 3D space, and you see right now, the 2 avatars before you, and you guys can describe your avatars and what you all look like.
Oh yeah, Sketch. When you first access, Asuka's actually only got the one preloaded, the one preloaded icon prepared. Like that's the one that's obvious for her. You have the 3 options you asked for, so you can choose which one you want to put on.
He picks Obi-Wan Kenobi with a fucking second sensitization. Just clicks it.
Remember, this scene takes place before the Leviathan, so just for the record.
Oh no, he loves Obi-Wan Kenobi anyway. He just clicks it. Boom.
He hasn't yet gotten the nickname, but he's well on his way.
He's well on his way.
Coincidence.
So you yourself are surrounded in this colorful 3D, almost kind of this, like you see this infinite horizon go on beyond you. There's almost like these digitized colorful clouds in the sky.
Well, I thought we were going to the loading screen first, so you could actually, give them a primer before we actually went to the web.
This kind of is this is like the primary area. You guys haven't entered the web itself. This is just a private loading area.
And now I'm seeing Asuka looking around going, Minecraft, really?
Although you guys can describe your avatars and what you guys look like and how they sound and the resonance of them.
Hello there. As he turns, awkward.
And that would be mine.
Disapproving anime guy.
Yeah, it's from Overlord. But anyways, just looks like a rather buff butler.
A buffler.
Yes. Anyways. Well, this is going to be a slightly different experience for you, but you're less likely to take any harm this way. Let's see. I should ask, just for reference, what... do you have any... He uses air quotes, enchantments on your person at this moment? Some of them may have a different effect inside.
Nope.
Nothing at the moment?
She just looks at him like, have you ever been able to get a good read on me?
No, and that's a good sign in this case. That will make things a little easier for you. You, however,
Sketch, this feels kind of disorienting for you. This is your first time in the web. You kind of feel like you're the sensation of sitting down and standing up at the same time definitely fucks with you.
Mm-hmm. Kind of rubbing
Don't play accordingly.
It's like, this is this is pretty weird. Not gonna lie, Eric. I've had some acid trips. I've been in some weird positions sexual wise, but this is weird.
It's well, I mean, I don't have any hallucinogens, but I'm sure I could get you some.
I'm just saying, it's just weird for me. I'm like sitting down, but my ass doesn't feel like it's sitting down, and I'm up, and I don't know. This is weird. I don't like this, man.
All right, so let's go over a few ground rules real quick. First, Sketch, are you capable of creating a mind shield, or would you like me to fashion one for you?
I can create a mind shield, I'm just not as good as you are. I'll say very honestly.
Then I will do that. In the meantime, Dr. L, since that's your name we're going to be using here, have you ever been on the web before in this particular manner?
Using a VR rig? No.
All right. If you have any familiarity with the web at all, even from just cursory explanations from your end of the fence, perhaps you could explain them to Sketch while I focus on building him a mind shield?
I'll do my best.
And rolling.
All right, so roll your. So, are you doing a ritual cast or an extended cast?
Extended cast.
Okay, so that means for each. So every subsequent roll beyond the first, it'll be a +1.
Yep. Which it's going to take at least a few rounds before it goes beyond Diff 3.
This is fair.
The digital web is sort of like the internet, only, well, you can enter it with a physical avatar. Have you ever seen the movie The Matrix?
Yeah, love that movie.
There you go.
Ah, okay. I'm following. Okay.
The only difference is we're not using man-machine interfaces for this. Instead, we're just using simple VR rigs. So it's more like a video game than actually being there. If you were using an actual interface, it would be exactly like The Matrix.
Okay. No, I can dig it. All right.
All of you will notice that even though you have a distinct sense of touch and sight, there is no smell. Taste, really. For the sensory ones, you just feel the same taste you have in your mouth as always. For Eric, there's literally no taste or a sense of smell whatsoever.
Yes, we all know Eric has no sense of taste.
I was going to make a joke. Okay. After 4 rounds of casting, I he decided to call it quits at that point. Like, it's getting to the point of it's going to risk me failing, and I really don't want that to happen right now. So that's going to be 1 success to kick it off, 2 to make it I believe that makes it a duration with split successes, or else scene. Either way, it's only going to last for this adventure.
You only need 1 success for the duration, so you can have an 8 success mind shield for Sketch.
Cool. Let's do that. Woo. Okay.
For Sketch, you kind of feel this. You see these little pockets of data beginning to formalize around your senses, and even in the real world, you kind of feel like your mind is being fortified by some kind of outside source, which you probably can guess is Eric.
Gives him the thumbs up.
Excellent. And I was considering trying to set up a telepathic connection, so to speak, mind-to-mind interface, but it's likely not to be necessary. We can simply use the party chat.
Which you all have. You kind of have like you kind of can see that there's some kind of a little bit of an interface while you're in the web. You have several different apps like you would a smartphone, so you can connect to each other, using the same things that Skype, Discord. You have an internet browser in your interface that you can pop up in front of yourself. Basically, every single kind of app that you can. There's an app store, so basically every single kind of app that you can think of, you can kind of put up on a 2D interface in front of yourself, along with seeing things 3-dimensionally.
By the way, Sketch, you did say that you were having some... This is out of character. Torna, you did say your character was having a little difficulty adjusting to it, right? Like, he's got computers 1, but this is still way beyond him.
This is, way beyond him. He's like a buff.
He quietly turns on the tutorial function for your HUD. And now I have to get another GIF. Hold on. Hold on. It's loading. It's loading. It's going to take a
I'm
second.
just trying to find... That's the book I was using. Okay, here it is. Alrighty.
Perfect. Okay. This will be the image that appears in your HUD. Oh, we can see it, but it's like kind of faded for us, and we're not going to hear its dialogue.
Yeah, you guys can kind of see a little bit of everyone's HUD. Hi there, I'm Clippy. This must be your first time in the web, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Oh.
Well, if you need some help, I have some basic tutorials for you. Do you wish to know how to use your interface before you at this very moment?
That'd be good. That'd be really good, Clippy.
All right. This is your start key. This is where you can see any kind of apps that you have installed on your interface. Here's the time. Here's your calendar where you can set your dates. And over here is the borders of your interface. You can also, there's many different ways to see how many apps you have. You can simply scroll using your hands. Or you can simply press the button right here, which will become highlighted, to open up a keyboard interface and search for the app that you're looking for. If you wish to install new apps, click this icon here, which is the Web Play Store.
I'm going to assume that we basically leave him to that for a minute.
Yeah, you leave him to that for a minute. To navigate through the web, it can become, the general gist. It goes through how to move through the web and how to...
Also,
Oscar just looks at Eric.
If you take too much damage in the web.
Oscar just looks at Eric. That was cruel and unusual.
It's actually considered something of a hazing ritual among new adepts.
No, you seem to have troubles navigating the web. Please try again.
Keep clicking it.
You've taken a step.
You try to close it, but it's really distracting. And every time you try to close it, says, you keep fumbling and fumbling. It says, you seem to be needing help. How may I assist you? Every time you close it and stumble, it goes back up again.
Feel free to scream for help from Eric or something.
Eric, won't leave me alone.
Hi there, I'm Clippy. Do you need any help? You seem to be struggling navigating.
I don't need any help. Clippy, stop it, please. Clicking rapidly.
You clearly need help. I'm here to assist
Pause. Okay. He'll shut it off.
you. Clippy disappears before your eyes.
Oh no! Hyperventilating, like
Help me!
There, you're not real.
looks over at Eric and just goes, "What the fuck was that?"
That was a tutorial program designed by someone who is very sadistic.
Even Innovation X doesn't use that.
To be fair, you tend to haze out the fuck-ups faster than we do. Pardon my French.
Well, yes, we did get rid of you, didn't we?
Ooh.
Take 3 egg damage for that burn.
And now there are 3 Clippies simultaneously talking to Husk.
Hi there! I'm Clippy. Do you need any assistance today?
Jesus Christ!
And she just expertly click off.
Hi there, I'm Clippy. Are you sure you don't need any help? Are you sure you don't need any help?
To be fair, she probably would know how to get rid of Clippy pretty effectively. Still, message was delivered.
She just gives him a big white grin.
All right, so here's what we're here to do today. Other than simply giving you guys a brief idea of what we do in the web, we're actually searching for something. All right, how much do you know about AI?
Oscar just gives him the flattest look ever.
This is mostly for Sketch.
Sketch is very like he's like conveying this great revelation. That's artificial intelligence. Nod safely.
Yes, very good. Well, you see, there are some instances of what could be called artificial intelligence entities on the digital web. However, there are many degrees of this. True AIs are exceptionally rare and, frankly, well, they're above our pay grade. I don't, frankly, want anything to do with those. They're, I'll leave those to, he gestures over towards Asuka. However, there are slightly different entities which are much easier to interact with. They display a good amount of adaptability, but they still tend to function by their original programming. Essentially, you could create a protector that would learn better ways to protect you, but it's not going to randomly decide it wants to become a monk in a monastery. Or to kill you, for example. Now, there are quite a few of these entities on the web, but the web is a very large place, and it gets larger every day someone joins it. So, we're going to do a little searching. And
Clippy pops up on Sketch's screen. Did you know that a new user joins the web
Delete.
every
Just like, nope.
You do know
Clippy,
that
you
we
have
consider
interrupted
Clippy a virus, right?
I mean, you're not
You know,
wrong.
it could be.
Oh my god!
In any case,
There's a reason that it was discontinued in the Windows line.
to be fair, I think they tried discontinuing it like one edition before it actually happened. It just kept sticking around.
Well, yes, that's because it's a rogue VI.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to a few different places and attempt to track down some information about this possible VI. Where we might find one, might find different ones that are interested in employment. Many of them desire an interaction with the real world. But that's, to be honest, about as much as even I know about them. I don't spend as much time out here as I should, to be quite honest. So, with that in mind, you have the reason I ensured you all have mind shields is because, believe it or not, what hurts you out here could, very hypothetically, kill you. I say very hypothetically because what's far more likely is your digital body, the icon you're using right now, will get destroyed, and you'll get booted back to where you're sitting in Agrabah Nights with a mild headache.
Much less of a risk for us using VR rigs than for you.
Yes, in my case, it could be as bad as knocking me unconscious, in which case, please just ask Agrabah Knights to let me sleep it off in a corner. It wouldn't be the first time. However, I don't believe that's too likely. We're not specifically going anywhere dangerous as far as I know. As for the rest, learning as we go is the likeliest way to go about things. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here for a few hours teaching, and I don't think that's a very productive use of our time. So, with that in mind, he'll basically open up a little holographic control interface that's all personalized and customized on his end, and basically it opens what looks like a doorway to the actual digital web. One of the major commercial hubs, probably.
All right. So you now, guys, inject yourself into the actual digital web. What happens for all of you is the digital environment, along with the icons you see, fold back in on itself. And the entire screen kind of goes black. And there's almost this kind of rippling effect. And all of a sudden you kind of see this glowing light underneath, kind of in the bottom parts of your vision. And the camera slowly begins to pan downward, and you start to see flying little streaks of light that seem to, and that almost have the sound effects of engines and highly advanced technological sound effects streak by you, and the camera continues to pan down, and you just see this massive, huge, colossal sized, gigantic spread of high quality. It's almost like looking upon space and seeing the Earth at night and seeing the cities dart up the various continents. But think about it like that, but except just orange streaks of orange light. It's varied, multifaceted, three-dimensional, and epic in scope. And you see the words pop up within your vision, clear as day, not affected by the colors that are in the background, saying, "Welcome to the web." And in the bottom right, you see version 3.0. And all of a sudden, you guys start to course through faster than the speed of light through these array of dazzling CGI created landscapes and pieces of formatted web, and they almost dart by you at dazzling speeds as all of a sudden you circle your way through and things start to slow down as you kind of go into this sector, this grid that seems to almost have like all these that seems to look like an array of different city blocks and Arabian style bazaars, and there's the spire erected at the very top, or in the very center of this grid, and your vision begins to take you towards the window of the top of this spherical spire at the top. And inside, you are brought in this kind of plain space where there are these windows, and you see a variety of other icons and digital entities that seem to be abound. You see a Luke Skywalker here and there. You see a guy that's dressed up like a fully decked out commando and seems to be arming his weapons. You see a group of Ugandan knuckles kind of sitting in the corner harassing someone, and you can see in the center there's these 3D words floating in a revolving in the center of the room that says welcoming area, marketplace. And you all find yourselves in your avatars here in this section of the web. And you're free to move.
It's worth pointing out that a lot of the icons that you guys see here are probably not as well crafted as ours. Some of them
No.
maybe, but the vast majority are, at least if it's a standard netizen and not someone who's, doing what we're doing, they look like someone from VR chat.
Yeah.
It is a primitive 3-dimensional thing with polygons.
You see Winnie the
You do that
Pooh
anyway.
talking to an Asuka from Neon Genesis Evangelion with a kind of basic, 3D avatar that looks very banal and bland, like just basic, brown-haired white guy. And he's just kind of jumping up and down, and you can kind of hear with the voice range, I can't stop jumping. Look, and then Pooh goes, oh, just don't worry about it. Just stop pressing that button. There you go. And that conversation ensues. But here you are. This is the welcome area of the web. You can see these around you at the different window panes in this kind of orb-like welcoming area. You can see these panels. But other than that, the space seems to be very simple and plain. And sometimes you can see new netizens popping in and respawning, and you hear a very vulgar language coming from their local space.
I mean, at least we didn't boot up in one of the porn chats.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Eric will, keep a close eye on you guys to make sure you don't go wandering too far. He's going to try and lead folks to, because usually there's a directory of some kind. It looks different for netizens, but because it's part of their interface. But essentially, yeah, he's trying to lead you guys to that.
Which are the panels that are by the windows, for the record.
Once we get there, he's going to kind of hum and start looking through options, trying to think how best to go about this. And he's actually going to address you two as he does this via party chat. So essentially, if anyone were to walk next to us and try to listen to us, like in VR chat, it doesn't appear that we're talking because we're talking in private chat. Now, if they start hacking or something, then they could probably hear us. But, we hopefully would notice. Anyways, there's two possible ways that this might work. We could put out an advertisement, but that could take quite a bit of time, and we'd have to sift through quite a few. Well, let's just say I don't want to hire Clippy.
Oh no.
I'm sure somewhere out there is a
just
stronger
hearing the
version of
name.
him.
You have PTSD for the scene. Clippy just kind of name gives you shivers.
No.
Clippy. Alternatively, there are a few places that we could go and attempt to find employment, or rather, find a potential employee. Hangouts that are only known to the adepts and those kinds of entities. But even there's no guarantee. However, it would be a better place to start. There are usually information brokers there who would be willing to give us a lead, or they might even know someone. Middlemen, if you would. They make their living hooking people up with.
What exactly are we looking for?
Well, as I said, an AI, though not a true AI. Something that might actually be able to help us. Me specifically, but let's just say
All right, what are
there's
you looking for?
Well, I'm glad you kind of faded out there from me, Oscar.
What?
Repeat, Ben?
What are you looking for help with?
Two possibilities. The first would be something with a more administrative function, something that could help me manage certain projects and allow me more time to focus on the threats to the city. I can only be in so many places at once, after all. A second option would be more of a militant aspect. Something that, if I were to find it a suitable host, would be able to defend me more actively. Or, when it comes to the digital web, it might be able to be much more aggressive.
So basically, you want a VI version of Cabal.
I mean, to be fair, Cabal is both of those things.
Yeah, he really is.
But also Cabal is the exception, not the standard. He'll kind of shrug slightly. Most VIs aren't going to have quite the same level of organicness, if that's the appropriate word, as you're familiar.
Well, to be fair, Cabal actually has organic components. That's why he can appear as human as he does.
Yes, most VIs will be limited to their initial programming in that sense. They will have a personality, but it's not as subject to change.
I remember some old combat subroutines that I could add to anything that you're looking for. I'll be happy to share them with you.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. By the way, what's Sketch doing?
Sketch is looking around curiously, like, oh, just
And then
wandering
you
around,
see this-
keeping.
You go ahead.
He's just keeping close, but wandering and curiously looking at things and looking at people.
You guys see a guy that kind of has like a shitty looking, VR chat avatar that looks like Natsu from Fairy Tail. And he kind of walks up to you guys and goes, "Whoa, your guys' avatars look fucking awesome. I never seen anything like that before. Jesus." Just kind of looks at you awestruck, although the avatar doesn't really look all that great, so it kind of always looks awestruck.
In party chat, you're just going to get the immediate and very like there's going to be a sigh, like a sigh emoji, followed by just ignore them, don't address them.
Can we kill them and take their loot?
No. It's,
you can very tell that there's like this place is heavily secure. Someone tried to attack someone earlier, but their guns didn't work and stuff like that.
Oh, it's not.
Yes.
It's not. Sketch like it's not a thing. Oh, right. Okay.
There are places where that can happen. Trust me, we'll need to worry about that later. But for now, why don't we attempt to go to one of these? Let's see. He's going to try Sorry, go ahead.
Guys, how do you make that stuff? I really want to know. Can you tell me? Where'd you get it?
Mute.
Actually,
So you mute him.
I'm going to turn her head and look at him with the cybernetic eye.
Whoa, dope eye, man. That's fucking awesome.
This eye should actually have some spiritual weight behind it.
I mean, you're looking at him with the tech priest's eye, right?
No.
But your other one is invisible to him.
The tech priest eye is over her artificial eye anyways, so...
Okay.
It kind of is, but the thing is the icon's the icon. The icon doesn't really represent or reflect your physical body at all. It more reflects your mind.
Yeah,
So,
it's a
again-
disguise. It's a disguise.
Yeah, again, this is...
You have You have your very intimidating.
You still have it.
Intimidation
You're still
5
intimidating
eye.
as fuck.
Yeah,
You just won't have that same spiritual presence that you're thinking of.
okay, cool. She just looks him over for a minute. And she decides, you know what, throw him a bone. She turns to face him. It'll take you about 5 years of dedicated learning and practice to get this good. I'd suggest starting now. Use some basic tutorial programs on how to build icons properly.
All right, you know any good places where I can find them? I mean, I have been trying some, but they all fucking give me viruses, man. I think I look in the wrong places. You don't hear
Honestly-
this because you muted him, Solon.
Honestly, just try the web shop. It should give you some decent ones, but if you're looking for free, then you're probably out of luck.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is like art. This is like art level.
Well, can I at least add you to my friends list? Just in case I
You
need help.
probably don't want to do that.
Why? oh shit, oh you guys are like, oh fuck yeah, okay, sure. Because you give the thumbs up and it's like, won't disturb you anymore. Yeah, it kind of gives you a wink, even though the eyes of this avatar are really expressive and surprised all the time. And then he walks away.
Oh, God. And this is how we
Turns
all
back
die.
to them. Well, that's done.
These are the masses, everyone.
So, what he's going to try and do is he's going to try and look up, say, one or two common places where, as I said, he might go on the digital web to find information, because there have to be a couple virtual adept style hangouts that he would still know.
Yeah, there could be some that you know. You can roll your roll me your intelligence virtual adept lore.
Okay, let me double check that real quick. Somewhere on here. Intelligence virtual adept lore?
Yes.
Okay. And creative would not apply to this, so.
No, it would not.
Difficulty?
We'll say standard.
Okay. Ooh, 4 successes.
Okay. You know of a couple. You know of 3. One is kind of like a local place that virtual adepts made that they kind of made for all sorts of for pretty much any of the traditions to come to learn about the web. Mostly a bunch of newbie adepts and almost older masters who are trying to learn about the digital web go there. It's in a sector that's pretty far away. Because you probably, but you do have the haunt link for it, and you can share it with your buds. The other one is one that's more that virtual adepts of all sorts come and trade shop for information. More like disciple level adepts hang out there. It's kind of like almost like a big cyberpunk city, and it's kind of like there's kind of a section of it where it's kind of like a game where you guys it's kind of like a training center for newer adepts as well, where they can kind of simulate what it's like the technocracy to hack you and how you can find strategies to defend yourself against attacks and that kind of thing.
So that would be a sector where soft derezzing is a thing.
Yeah, soft derezzing in that sector can be a thing. Although if you really, and other traditions are kind of okay there, but they may kind of be not looked on with scorn, but kind of like, oh, these guys don't know what they're doing, kind of thing. And they may not be very receptive. And there's a third one, although you've only heard rumors about it. It's kind of this place where it's this one sector. It's not a restricted sector. It's a, what do you call them? A C sector. They're kind of like sectors that have specific rules and stuff like that you have to follow to be within it. Mm-hmm. And you don't know necessarily where it is. You've only heard rumors, but it's basically this. It's kind of this information ground where really important data that virtual adepts seek and want to trade really secret, really valuable knowledge with each other, and they also store it there. And you also know of another place. It's called, I believe, the Crystal Palace, where basically every single virtual adept road is stored. But that's restricted only to virtual adepts. No one else can go in there. And if they find an Interaction X guy going in there, and you're the one bringing him there,
Sketch would be the only survivor on that trip.
Pretty much. They'll be like, you didn't see shit, and then they fucking hard derez you, put a mind road in there to fuck with your memory.
Just put tens of thousands of that little fucking thing in front of them, going, "You didn't see anything, did you?" No.
And anytime you start to talk about it, you start hearing Clippy.
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, it would be a mind road of Clippy permanently programmed in your mind, reminding you, remember not to tell anyone.
I see you're trying to breathe. Would you like help with that?
Oh my God.
Okay, so he's probably gonna want to aim.
Worse than Clippy. You guys remember that purple ape avatar, desktop avatar that was popular for a bit?
I don't remember that.
It turned out to be total malware, but it was kind of in the same Clippy vein.
I don't remember that one. Also, there's one other thing, Solon, you may know about, and they're
Yes.
these things called info spaces. They're like little virtual text boxes, text boxes and pieces of illustration with their own little virtual space within them that kind of fly around the virtual winds of the virtual space in the digital web, and you can find them on stuck to different surfaces on the web. So that's also a place where you can look for such an entity.
Excellent. He's going to explain the options, namely what he'll mention is, and this is how he would describe it to you guys. All right, there's the noob space. That's, well, a lot of folks that aren't used to the web go there, but we're not likely to find anyone knowledgeable in what we're looking for. Fairly harmless. The second option is a place where you will be looked on a little bit with a frown, shall we say, but you're permitted there at least. We're more likely to find someone who knows at least the direction to point us in. The other options are either not available or extremely difficult, so I would recommend we go to this one. And he's going to give them the hot link for the virtual adept hangout, not the restricted one or whatever, but the one that you mentioned that's in the Cyberpunk City where it's okay for them to be.
Yeah, it's okay for them to be. Like, if they want to go there and learn stuff there, they can. But, you know, virtual adepts can have a lot of hazing rituals and stuff like that.
Yep.
So, you guys receive a hot link. It's basically just a series of numbers and text that you can click on within your interface. You're about to, like, dodge because you think Clippy might show up, but he doesn't.
You're trying to click it.
Just really clicks it really quickly, like, come on.
Oscar goes click.
Click. And I'm guessing you click to, Solon?
Yes. However, right before he does so, because there's always going to be the cheap, shitty icons that you can get just by clicking on, what's available.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always the stupid bad ones from VR chat and so on and so forth.
Pretty much. There's a couple of icons that you just have standard. Clippy would have showed you this. Sketch, Oscar, you would have known about them, but they're pretty like super standard, not really all that great avatars that are just stock. There are other ones that you can buy and pay for in various currencies.
And I believe if I remember correctly, the book says you can switch icons, but it's not something you can do in the middle of a fight. That's literally their description.
Yeah, you can switch
have to do it out of a fight.
Yeah, well, I think you can do it within a fight. It takes a Wits computer. I think it's a Wits computer's role to switch. I'll have to double check that, but for now we'll say that you can switch icons whenever you want out of combat, but in combat, if you wanted to switch icons, that's either really difficult or impossible.
Well, the reason I was going to mention it is because just before we all click the link, this is going to happen. Get it? Hold on, I gotta make sure the audio is not going to blast you guys. I'm so glad I figured out how to do this.
So, just to let you guys know, Asuka, your avatar has an appearance of 4 and an intimidation of 5.
Cool.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi Sketch has an appearance 4 and an intimidation of 4.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And then right before we go there, because this is the kind of mentality that Eric has.
Awaken, my child.
No, not that one. Damn it.
Run!
Wrong lever!
And tank charges into the hot link.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
She just looks at Eric like, really?
Literally, that music starts playing and as he switches on the shitty VR chat icon and charges through.
Really?
Okay. Clicks the link. Really confused.
So you guys click on the link, and your vision almost like your vision 360 degrees wise almost shifts around, and you literally end up in a different place. You're kind of in this three-dimensional. You're kind of in this. You look like you're in some kind of like penthouse place atop a really high set of buildings. There's several different cushion sets and really comfy chairs in this space. There's a bar where people kind of hang out and chat, and there's this spherical entity that goes up and basically says, "Scanning, new netizens in virtual space." One member of the Dr. Eric Eldred of the Virtual Adepts, Dr. Tristan Hare, the Celestial of the Cult of Ecstasy, and a netizen that I cannot identify. Dr. Eric, please explain this netizen that I cannot identify with standard scanning protocols.
Vouched for by me, and also by because name dropping the Archbishop ain't going to mean shit to most of these people, especially since he's not part of the web. But he's going to say personality profile and such, and behavior vouched for by a rank 5 veteran.
Very well. We will vet this with other adepts. In the meantime, netizen, you will have a tag. Your actions will be held responsible by Dr. Eric by Dr. Eldred if you decide to perform any illicit activities. And it will scan again, and Asuka, around your icon you will almost see this kind of this yellow tag kind of appear next to your avatar. Next to your icon, and the robot will float away. Enjoy your stay here. If you wish to participate in any of the trials and tutorials, simply reach over to that panel towards the left of the penthouse.
Oh, I already gave them a tour of Blippi. Why would
My God, you madman! It says.
No, they survived quite well. She knew how to turn them off.
I see. Very well then. Enjoy your stay here at Capadernum.
Okay.
You don't really see many people right now. Just a couple of what look like a couple of adepts sitting at the bar. Their prime signatures are very strong, so that's why you can tell that. There seems to be a digital entity that's kind of managing and giving food and stuff like that. And you can kind of see a group of virtual adepts kind of by this big observation kind of area where you can kind of see out into this great big city. And they're almost kind of like, cheering and laughing and, hazing a newbie that's a new adept that's trying to train and get better within the digital web.
So in other words, he's having horrible luck, and they're just like lols,
and they're probably trolling him by like fucking with the system and stuff like that, and say, hey, you gotta fucking try harder than that. You gotta watch out for data spikes within electrical systems, man. Fucking get your shit together.
In other words, they're actively sabotaging him.
They're actively sabotaging him because they're fucks, man.
That sounds like the adepts. So, Eric will look at the other two and say, well, we're in the right place. Let's see if we can find one of those.
Oh, one thing
There
also
should
the
be
avatar mentioned is Oh, we know, but that is a sci-fi avatar, so Sketch, you're fine.
I mean, mine's the only one that's not quite fitting. I'm blatantly using a VR chat avatar right now.
You're fine. Just so long as you guys aren't having anything blatantly like super fantasy oriented or old school historical and stuff like that, you'll be fine. And you guys get a list of rules in your HUDs about what's what actions can get you softy res out of the sector.
Are
Basically,
munitions and guns, like, those are obviously used by some of the entities here, right?
yes, they are. You're allowed to have them on your person. Shooting them, using them within the within the penthouse will get you kicked. But on the streets, everything is fair game.
Okay, I may send you a message about that.
Just no spell programs from other servers. They have to be tech oriented, essentially. So you're here in this penthouse. What do you guys do?
I sent you a message over Facebook, by the way.
Okay.
So,
wait, what? Okay.
I mean, it fits. Anyways, would he know a place that we could go, like, where people who have information might hang out, something like that?
Usually right here in the penthouse. You see the couple guys at the bar. You see the guys that are hazing, although usually that kind of thing, people don't like to be interrupted, although you could. Or you could go down to the streets below and see what other virtual adepts are up to down in the vast spaces of this little sector. Or the digital entities that may reside here.
Well, thoughts? He'll explain those options to the guys here, because he's been kind of leading them by the nose at this point, and I don't want to make the entire scene like, "Hey guys, follow me," because that would be me.
Yeah, the scene is now up to you. I don't have any reins. I'm just describing the environment, and you guys do your thing.
We should avoid the hazing. Just not staring at this poor guy breaking down, probably.
There's like a 2D pain in the face, and the guy's just like, "Fuck, man, I've tried so hard. Just stop it." If you can't handle the fucking game, man, and you're not ready to be a fucking adept, you can go join those pussy cultists.
The fuck is he doing?
Tank turret swivels slightly. We might want to avoid.
It appears, Eric, that they don't know the way.
God damn it.
No. They may not know the way, but I'm not going to show them the way. Not right now.
Beat on the
Wait a minute. That's your avatar?
I told you he switched to this when we entered the zone.
I was confused by what you meant by that. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, but fair enough. It fits enough.
It does fit. It's close enough. It is a standard VR chat. It's one of those things that people are likely to judge him as being a noob if they just see that and don't take a closer look at who the user is.
You have an appearance of 2 and an intimidation of 2, just for the record.
Oh, okay. So that cannon's really intimidating. Okay. Okay.
The cannon is also 2 inches long.
Now, I was going to say, does the intimidation factor go up if there are more of me? No, just kidding.
Yes.
So.
And for the record, you sound like Uganda Knuckles. So you don't sound like Eric anymore because the icons also change your auditory frequency. So right now, you're listening to a guy that basically sounds like, "Yes, we will need to search for what we need to do here."
We need to search for what we do here.
I need to do more digital websites. It's fucking great.
Right? They do not know Dewey. So we must find Dewey. Who should we ask about Dewey?
Let's look for someone who's paying attention.
Is there anyone in the room who seems to be just observing?
There's one guy at the bar who has white and icon at the bar who you can definitely tell with the prime signature is definitely some kind of mage. They have what looks like a shrouded set of robes with a helmet that kind of looks like a kind of more advanced and kind of better, almost more well done than the helmets that are made within the game Destiny. And they kind of have this big coat over themselves with a really big gun on their back that looks like it's been crafted from some kind of a Warzone simulator. That looks like it can be found from a Warzone simulator. And he kind of looks at like your avatar, Eric, and just kind of shakes his head and just kind of continues to drink.
And the tank is now turning, and the tank is now advancing to the slight anthem of Russian music.
Flanked by fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hey, your guys' avatars look good.
They look really
Oscar's avatar is fully animated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even the Techno Priest bits actually move and do random idle animations.
Oh yeah, even for yours too, Sketch. Like there's kind of a little bit of a windy kind of effect with your robe sometimes.
Yeah.
And yes, you do have a lightsaber. Though, I mean, it's probably just going to count as a sword.
Yeah, we'll count it as like a long.
Seeing what Sketch can do with the sword.
Yes.
So you advance towards this, and it's just like, and the guy kind of looks and says, "What do you want, Ugandan Knuckles?"
And I'm not going to try and do the accent constantly, so just assume that everything he's saying translates into Ugandan Knucklesese.
I'm really tempted.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll assume that.
I'm really tempted to pop out from behind the tank and be like, "Hello there," you know, that really cheery, fucking Hugh McGregor voice.
Torna, you and Asuka both have the Ugandan Knuckles tank as available icons.
Yup.
Can't do it. Oh, I can't do it.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your avatar's your icon is always talking about having the higher ground.
It's time to incorporate that in every line of Sketch's speech now for this entire scene.
In all seriousness, he will address the guy who's standing there. I'm sorry to bother you, but I happen to be in the market for a little bit of information. Do you, by chance, find yourself in the market to provide any, or do you know
Man,
of
that
anyone?
Ugandan... Look, if you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to take that Ugandan knuckle shit off. It's really pissing me off.
Fine.
All right, that's fucking better. Jesus, why don't you start with that?
There's literally just like a shrug.
He kind of just looks at the other two, like almost kind of like, and just kind of looks back at you, and just says, "All right, so you're looking for what? Some kind of? You're in the market for a VI? Is that it?"
Did our character say anything about that, or is he just really good at guessing? Or
No, I thought that's what you said. Sorry, what is? Well, okay, you know what? He wouldn't say that then because you're right. He didn't say that.
He said information, but yeah.
Okay, information. So he'll say.
Hand wave him that. It's okay.
I'll hand wave him that. He'll just say. So you're in the market for information. What kind of information?
Specifically, where we might be able to hire or potentially contract a virtual intelligence.
Shit, man, they're all over the place. There are all sorts of intelligence you can get. You're gonna have to be more specific.
High quality, exceptionally high quality. I mean, God knows if I wanted Clippy.
He's looking for a high quality secretary with expansion options for non-standard programming.
An AI, if you will. Sketch of say trying to sound intelligent comes across as a complete nutter, like fucking
or a combat model would also be acceptable if administrative is not possible.
One that can properly take the high ground. Nods.
Well, if you want to look for something like a combat model or something at least a little bit above standard, you can go into the higher grade markets in the several different market and bazaar sectors. If you're looking for something really high quality, you might want to go for the Gandry markets. That's a little bit. That's not too far from this sector. Although if you want the hot link, you'll probably have to go scrounging for that because I don't have it and I haven't been there. Although,
Who controls that sector?
it's a free sector. It's a free grid, pretty
No.
much for the most part. Anyone there can format the web freely, for the most part.
So in other words, it's not Adept and it's not Union. It's just
Yep,
it's open to whatever the hell happens.
Yep, it's an open net as in space, and pretty much you can find any kind of entities there.
Based on that information, is he essentially describing a high end marketplace
Yes.
where they might do like custom jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Although the coin for those kind of things is expensive.
Yeah, or favors or whatever else you can possibly provide that has value. But yeah, God knows that's a lot of quint.
If you're looking to search for one, I mean, I've been hearing rumors about these weird looking VIs that have been they've been almost sliding around the different sectors of the web, although they're hard to spot and hard to find. But I hear they're really smart when you actually get to talk to them. But usually people are creeped out when they talk to them. I've even seen some adepts kind of got the heebie-jeebies around them.
It takes a lot to weird us out. Is there a particular reason? Are they like he kind of leaves that hanging? Like,
from what I've heard described, they seem more otherworldly than by otherworld standards.
Do they seem like they're a little too perfect?
No, it's not about perfection. It's like, I don't know. No one really used the words perfect or unperfect to describe them. They just described them as harmonic, and that they slide around using the music they produce.
oh, see, I know exactly what that is. In character, I have no effing clue.
I'm okay if I roll my Union lore for this, because
If you have Iteration X lore, that might also apply just at a guess.
Solon, they might not be what you think because
That's also fair.
yeah, they might not be what you think.
well, if the Union knows anything about it,
Let me think. Let me look at your lores. Lores. Okay. Roll me your Technocracy lore, because it wouldn't be Iteration X. Roll me your Technocracy lore difficulty 9.
ooh,
Intelligence, right? Intelligence. Technocracy.
Intelligence Technocracy lore difficulty 9.
nope, failed.
Nope. You've never heard of this shit. And there's a reason why it's that high.
Yeah.
Well, if we happen to see those, perhaps we can make a judgment from there. But in the meantime, that market should be very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Other than that, I don't really know how else to help you. I mean, the thing about the web is there are all sorts of virtual entities talking about this place. Sometimes the best way to find one is to just explore it. You should know this. You're what? From what I can call from the records, you're an adept. Oh yeah, Dr. Eldred, I remember hearing about you.
I don't get around as much as I used to, but I wouldn't want to leave you empty-handed after you were helpful enough to give us a guidepost.
Anything is helpful. I mean, if you could tell me what's going around in your neck of the woods, it's fair enough.
Oh, let's see. To keep things simple. Well, there's a union of sorts forming between the Celestial Choristers and the Templars. And
What?
The word Inquisition keeps getting thrown around.
In what context?
In the
In the you
Someone-
didn't expect them context.
yes. For now, they seem to have larger fish to fry than the rest of us, because
Well,
the Union.
Well, that's actually pretty solid info. So, thanks.
So make sure
I'll
you
probably-
spend it wisely.
No, that's actually something that I might need to tell a specific individual. But anyway, what else you got?
Given the size of that one, I think only one more piece. But let me see. Good and appropriate.
If you give me one more piece, I'll trade it. I'll give you one more little tidbit that I've been hearing about.
Fair. Let's see. Oh, see, I'm like sorting through plot elements that have been going on. Oh,
That's
yeah. Let's go with this one. There was a incident. I can't give all the details, but there was a serious incident at the Dublin Library. Not the one where the sleepers go to. The other one. That one would be known because, hey, information. There are probably a couple people who have visited it. It's under control at this point, but it almost got destroyed.
This was a Magi Library.
Of sorts, yes. Run by one of the ecstatics.
I wonder things got out of control. But fair enough.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
God, all of that
intensifies.
shit thrown in there.
Like,
Obi-Wan starts grabbing his lightsaber.
it's gripped on it like,
You look constipated, Obi-Wan. What is it?
Oh, nothing. I said something. Something of ineptitude.
Something high ground.
Something, pretty much. I'll stick over here. High ground.
So what is the tidbit you have, if you think that one's worth it?
All I know is that the Syndicate's been working on something. It probably won't come out for a few years, but around my neck of the woods here in Toronto, they may be, once brain-computer interfaces are given to the sleepers. This all depends on their timetable, but there's this thing called the Genius program running around.
Sounds
The
ominous
Genius
coming
Project.
from them.
I don't know anything about it. No one really knows anything too much about it, but that's just what I've been hearing.
Still helpful.
I'm guessing it ain't. I'm still guessing it ain't the kind of Apple Genius you get on your phone, or maybe who knows? Maybe there's something like that.
Let's hope not. But from them, who knows? Well, thank you. And
I'm gimmicks, by the way.
Let's
He
see.
kind of puts out his hand.
And you'll get the very strong handshake because, strength 4. Nice firm handshake.
And you'll actually get quite the strong handshake back.
Yay!
Kind of almost like Arnold and that one guy from that movie.
Dylan!
So, I believe then we will take our leave. I should be able to find a link if I do a little searching.
Yeah, and hey, if you guys want to go down the streets and find all sorts of goodies, and hey, even other virtual entities that you might be able to find here, this sector's not so bad.
He's going to look over at Sketch like, not sure if he would want one. But I mean, the option's always there.
Always is. Well, if there's anything else I can help you with, I'm just going to sit here and continue to enjoy my beverage.
No, I think that'll be all, unless you two had anything to ask him.
I'm actually going to roll again on Technocracy Lore to see if I know what Project Genius is about, or even if I've heard tidbits about it.
All right, I won't say it'll go up to difficulty 10 or remain at difficulty 9. Also, I have some rolls to make actually.
Make it a roll.
Got it.
Oh, one success.
Interesting. Okay, I will PM you something.
Also, well, I was worried after the first roll. The second roll makes me feel better.
You just kind of see, yeah, what was I going to say? You just kind of see the guy, oh, wait, no, hang on, let me just check. So he just kind of says, you just kind of see, you actually see Gimmicks look at Asuka's icon for a little while, but then he's just like, oh, not fucking worth it.
He said what?
But he said he was looking at you, but then he just kind of shook his head and said, ah, fuck it.
He was probably trying to scan you and then went, nah, not worth it. Too much.
You
effort.
had a question.
Type.
Yeah. She looks at him. You had a question.
Yeah, well,
Well, I'll give you a little bit of information for free, since I'm feeling nice and generous. If you want to know more about that project you've heard of, look to the stars.
no, hang on, wait.
No, look to the other stars.
Were you specifically wanting information about Project
Yeah,
Genius?
that's
Oh,
what I
that
was
was what the rose was for? Well, you looks like you got some extra information on that. That's fine. I fucked up.
Int 5 creative. Blame it
So-
on that.
That's right. Asuka is the beefiest person in our group. It's probably the mechadendrite on your back, let's be fair.
To be fair. Ah, okay. Instead, it should say, well, Project Genius. Think of it more as Project Avatar.
Whoa. Now that is interesting. How do you know about this?
I have my sources.
I squints his eyes. Mm-hmm.
Information sources are precious, as you know.
All of a sudden, the yellow tag disappears from your icon, and you get a message, Eric, from the entity saying, your info was vetted.
Yay!
Says, huh. He kind of leans back in the chair cross-armed. All right. Thanks for the info. Give me... Here, let's trade... Here. Let's add each other to the friends lists. And he basically sends you a friend request.
She'll respond to it with the call sign L.
All right. All right, Al. We'll keep in touch. You have a new contact, Asuka?
Yay.
One second.
So what you're saying is I should have made this picture for you.
Oh, no. No, she would have shot that one down instantly.
But yeah, he basically adds you on Discord, and that's his username.
Nice.
All right. Well, pleasure meeting you, folks. Obi-Wan, and he kind of tips his helmet towards you.
Sketch just like stares at him like, evening. Watching him like, you motherfucker talking shit about my fucking dudes.
And we leave me now. Okay, so I assume to find this, he gave us the name, and with the name and a couple of the local guideposts, I should be able to find us a conduit. Not a hot link necessarily, unless I get really lucky, but I should be able to find us a conduit or series of conduits to get us there, right?
1 second. What was... you know what? My memory... This is how poor my memory is these days. Remind me of the name he gave you?
Something starting with a G, Markets.
Oh, yeah.
Market.
The what?
Google Market.
I mean...
We'll call it the Gamma Market.
That's easy to remember.
And there is nothing but Hulk avatars as far as the eye can see.
Hulk sell you this, but only for 3 times amount.
But you want to find a conduit. I don't remember. What I'll say you can do is you can look for a hotlink for it by rolling your either your intelligence and research or your intelligence and computers. You guys can do the same if you wish.
Okay.
Intelligence computers is. What difficulty?
We'll say difficulty 5. It's not that hard to find.
Okay.
That
1,
would-
2, 3,
success
4,
rate of
5, 6.
I get one.
Sketch.
Yeah.
You got one. You know where it is within the web, but you can't find a hot link. And you kind of have a good little picture of it. It's like this. It's this cool spherical sector that's. It's not quite a. It's like a techno. It's almost like a big marketplace filled with all sorts of different types of marketplaces, ranging from fantasy marketplaces to transhumanist marketplaces, to urban fantasy ones. Let's see. You've got 6, and Ben, he got
6.
6. Okay, so you two not only find the hot link, but you find a hot link to several different places to where you could essentially drop in right into the zones that you need to go to. Eric, you find one that's within almost these kind of very modern type buildings, like very sleek, modern, not quite futuristic, but kind of almost like Dubai level kind of modern, high end. And basically there's like these sets of electronic shops where you can get different pieces of software. And you, Asuka, you find a place that essentially, what you find is actually interesting. It's not just within the Gamma markets, but you find similar pockets within other Gamma markets. These like kind of these hot links where basically people can watch these strange new entities almost repair corrupted parts of those sections that have been damaged by whiteouts. And people said there's these really interesting virtual intelligences that are there.
And she will share that data with Eric.
Excellent.
Data's been shared to you.
So we've got hot links leading to multiple places within the right sector. Which one do you think we should go for?
I think we should go for Oscus.
Okay. That link is put up for everyone to go through.
Does Sketch have a preference?
Sketch is like, oh fuck it, let's go to this one. Clicks it.
Oh wait, you don't know which one you're clicking on, are you? Okay, go on. Don't do that again. It's really loud. Okay.
I won't.
That's really loud.
I thought I turned it down again. Jeez.
No,
Maybe the
that
audio
was-
doesn't work right for it.
No, man, that was loud. But don't worry about it. Just
Sorry.
don't do it.
I won't. I'll test it after we're done with the scene just to see if I can actually get the volume doing what I want it to do. But
All
yeah,
right, fair
that'll
enough.
do it.
So you don't know what you're clicking on, are you?
Nope. Oh, he says like there's some, and Kez is like, okay, cool, click.
Roll me a D4 sketch.
Oh my!
I mean, we showed him which one to do.
Did you? Well,
Yes.
that's. Did you specifically? Did you give him the links and then tell him which one specifically, or did you just give him the
Yes.
link?
No, we shared the links, and then we said after we were discussing which one should we go to. That one, okay. He would have relinked that one.
Okay. Is that what
Okay.
you do, sketch?
I do have curiosity. That's the problem.
But do you have survival instincts?
I do, but I'm curious about things.
The
Shit,
problem with
Steve.
okay, sketch. Roll me your willpower. Difficulty 7.
Oh no.
Thankfully,
Yes, he's got a
gotten
willpower
high
of 2.
Oh, I've got actually quite high willpower, but
Okay.
Oh, no,
success.
There's
Woo!
this one of the links has like that same really nice patterny, organic kind of wavy, kind of like patterns to it that remind you of your own tradition, and you really want to click on it. Really want to click
guys,
on it. It's
guys,
so
there's
fun.
an ecstatic one. Guys, look at it. Click that one.
Which one is he? Which one is he indicating?
It's one of the ones. It's one of the ones that was gotten from Asuka. Basically, a section that's like an area just outside of an area that's been corrupted by the web.
Oh no.
And
No,
they're
no,
being,
no,
that's
no, no.
being repaired.
No, that's near a corrupted sector. That could actually hurt a lot.
Oh, why is it always the pretty things? that are
You
so
still really
deep?
want to go, but you're good. You can hold back.
Clicks the link all disappointed, like fine. Oh.
Suddenly he is sad frog.
So basically, there are 3 others that you guys could go to. One link kind of leads to a place that's like all of these have areas where the web is slightly corrupted. One is kind of like a fantasy area where different dwarves and clockwork kind of constructs are made. It's kind of World of Warcrafty. One is kind of almost alien-like, really sci-fi alien-y. And the other one is, aside from the one with sketch, the other one is kind of it's almost musical, like places by to get like the link is kind of made up of different notes and songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we know which one to click on.
Which one do you click on?
Music.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go head to the music link.
I guess so.
Okay, you guys coordinate together and click the hunt link. You click on it. You feel yourselves. You feel once again that 360-degree change in your environment. That's almost like a scanner, except your vision and your location and your senses feel different. And around you is almost like a big. You see various different like stages, just kind of off into the distance with various different pumping and loud sounds of techno music and varieties of different musical instruments. Off towards behind you, you hear like choir-like music. The streets around you is kind of a variety between. Have you guys ever been to Tomorrowland or seen Tomorrowland?
I was there in the 80s.
Well, it's kind of like it's like this. It's like almost like this big. It's kind of like an amusement parky kind of section of this market. The sun is shining really bright. The clouds are also are really colorful. You can see a variety of different kind of nature and tech kind of technical sort of entities floating about and interacting with each other. And you're just kind of on a pavement sidewalk, and you can see the corrupted web that you found, Asuka, which is the lake that is before you, that's in between several different stages or sections where all sorts of different music is playing. And what you see within this part of the web, it's almost kind of trippy, especially for you, Sketch. This really disorients you because you're new to this. You look within this lake, and it's almost like you're looking through a portal into almost the backbone of the web itself. And deep within, you guys can see all of these little spherical robots that are like kind of maintaining, circling, coding different sections of the web, trying to seal this part of the web back together. And there are a variety of like really beefed up robots with like kind of these beefed up robots with hard suits and various different drones circling the area, patrolling the lake. What do you guys do? If you're confused in my description, let me know.
I like Sketch's picture.
Oscar will actually crouch down near the lake's edge. I think we found your VIs.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Wait.
Oh.
An aquatic area with VIs.
Yep.
Roll me your stamina, Sketch.
Damn it, Solomon.
That's what's going to happen if you fail, Sketch.
2 successes.
Okay, you feel like you need to throw up right now, but you can hold it in. You're good.
Ooh. Oh, this feels like a really tail end of a rave. Oh,
I was
Jesus.
going to say, if you failed and you vomited, that's what would happen.
Whew. Okay. Oh, I can keep it. Oh, nope. I'm in. I'm good. I'm good.
Excellent.
Whew.
So we're essentially in the right sector. We just need to go towards the marketplaces, right?
Yeah, you're in the right sector. I mean, this is where you've heard rumors. This is where you've heard about these corrupted sections of the web that Oscar shared with you. But you're still in a marketplace. You're still in kind of like a marketplace sector. Although there also seems to be concerts or virtual performances that are occurring in this sector as well.
Oscar looks over at Sketch. Margaret Thatcher in a sling bikini, and then starts walking.
Oh God! Why did you do that?
Oh. Signs up slowly.
So all of a sudden,
Not quite enough to do the trick, huh?
all of a sudden, this kind of, I'm going to describe this person, a person with kind of these racketed up jeans with a really loose and baggy shirt that doesn't fit them, or this icon that looks like that, with several different piercings and a, wavy back hair, like kind of hair that's been waved back, turned into a ponytail that has all sorts of different carbon fiber sparks moving through it. They seem to be, skipping along the way, and all of a sudden they kind of take a look at Obi-Wan, and they kind of have a look like, and you can't necessarily tell. They kind of look more female, although that sometimes icons in the digital web can have a gray area when it comes to what their gender is, but they definitely have a more feminine appearance to them. And they kind of look at you and go, "Ooh, maybe." And then she kind of skips on over to you, Sketch.
Hello there.
Hey there, Obi-Wan. And they're like, "Hey there, Obi-Wan." And they kind of almost like trinkle a little bit. They kind of like trace your arms a little bit.
Obi-Wan appreciates this and kind of just nods, rubbing in his beard.
You wanna
Prime site, is this person likely a mage?
No, they're not.
Okay. I mean, do sleepers can still come to this area, or?
Sleepers can still come to this area. This is a general open marketplace.
Gotcha.
So, and they kind of say, "Do you want to find some place where you and I can dance, Obi-Wan?"
The
And she
Stag
kind of
thinks
puts
about
her
this.
on your hair, looking at you. This is quite a nice icon.
You know what? Jedi Order needs a break every now and again. Fixes his collar. Looks over at the two boys. I'll be back in a minute.
Are you forgetting Jedi, no attachments?
Oh, come on, that's no fun. Besides, it didn't really work out well for the Order, did it? Come on, Obi-Wan, you've been alone for too long.
Sketch is like, jeez.
There's
but
going to be a
young-
private message to you, Sketch. The private message says, "You know, I didn't include the 18 plus VR equipment you would need."
Thinks to himself, I have mind magic. You know, internally.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Replies back, I have mind magic. He just like marches off, but no, he'll be like, unfortunately, my lady, the Jedi's work is diligent, and even if the order looks off in the distance, dead, I must still adhere to the code. You know, putting his hands on his hips.
All
Oscar
heroic
looks
pose.
back. Oscar looks back at the women and just goes, heretics.
She just kind of sticks her tongue out at you, and then kind of speaks into your ear, Obi-Wan, and whispers you something.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh God. No. Jesus. I mean, this is going to be interesting.
God, that's easy.
And she says, "Well, that'll be it for me. See you later, Obi-Wan." And then she just skips
See you
off.
later. Sketch stores that file.
And you have them on as a friend on your friends list.
Nice.
Just turns
So
and
you can
looks
have
at the
them as a
boys. Turns and looks at the boys. Well then, it's a good day. It's a good day to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah.
By the way, which of the markets are we heading towards?
That's up to you. There are several different markets in this area. You can pull them up on your map. There's a tech market. There's pretty much any kind of market you can think of. It's really up to you guys and your imaginations where you'd like to go.
Well, we're already in the sci-fi icons, so it'd probably be easier to go to the tech one.
Well, you guys can take the tram, which is just outside of the station, and it can take you to another part of the sector.
Do you folks want to go to the tech market since we're already dressed appropriately?
Sure.
Sure.
Alrighty. And to the tram, I guess. Thing.
So you guys make your way through the area. You guys pass by different performances and concerts, and you kind of see different stands where people are selling all sorts of different virtual items and programs, little kind of Tamagotchi type virtual entities that different netizens can pick up and install on their computers if they're powerful enough. They can range from little mystical dragons to teacups that talk to you, to little almost like companions that kind of are like little droplets of water that circle around your body, or your icons, I should say. You guys make your way to the tram, and you guys get inside and hop in. It's kind of like this almost spherical tube like space. It's almost kind of within the reality of the digital web itself. A variety of different types of icons are in there with you, and basically there are different stops that it approaches, and two of the stops that are approaching are Tech Noir and and the transcending markets. And you guys can choose which ones you wish to stop at. Guys, you there?
Yep.
So where do you stop?
I'm leaving it up to Solon.
Yeah, you're the yeah.
Well, Eric's actually not. Again, I'm not trying to like steal thunder on this one. So I mean, now that we all know the general direction we're going in, if you guys got specific input, go for it.
We're leaving it up to you.
Yeah, Sketch's gonna look at you like you're the virtual adept. You know this place better than me. They all fucking hate me.
Oh, you shouldn't take that too seriously. They only mostly hate you.
No,
That's
Actually,
just because they think they're not
Eric,
invited to the right parties.
He'd actually know, Eric, that it was probably just giving shit because the cult of ecstasy and the virtual adepts is one of the few mystic traditions that actually get along well with the virtual adepts.
I know that's why you say like, oh, well, it's only because he didn't get to go to the right party.
Probably. And you'd kind of know this too, Sketch. Actually, the cult of ecstasy gets along pretty well with the virtual adepts.
He's just like that motherfucker talking his shit. See how it is. I give you my drugs. That's what you get, man.
So you said there was the transcending markets.
The transcending markets and Tech Noir.
Okay. Do either of them have requirements that we don't meet, or?
I would say you. For the transcending markets one, you're gonna need a No, actually, because these are free markets, this is a free grid, so you can basically go in there. But they do ask that individuals switch to an avatar that's more, at least for the transcending markets, more transhumanistic. So a lot more
Like Asuka.
like Asuka. But other types of avatars are fine because even in the transhumanistic kind of society people imagine, you can pretty much appear as whatever you want. If the technology gets there. And there's also Tech Noir.
Well, if we go to the we should probably try the tech one. That's the other one. We'd have to switch out our appearances, and I didn't happen to make a second one that looks like he nods over towards Asuka's. So,
All right. So you're heading to Tech Noir.
Sure.
Okay, so the tram stops, takes a stop, arriving at Tech Noir. The spherical, or I should say the cylindric tram, the glass-like tube rolls up, and a varying nightly display of lights begin to streak into your guys' eyes as you kind of see this vast landscape with tall skyscrapers shooting up into the sky, a very rainy, boiled down streets with where you can hear thunder, and a variety of flying vehicles soaring through the sky, robotic entities cleaning the streets and maintaining them, and a variety of digital entities socializing and meandering and wandering through the streets. With your prime sight, Solon, unless any of you guys also have prime sight, most of these seem to be virtual entities. Certain levels of these skyscrapers are also firewalled, decently heavily. So, what do you guys do? Do you leave out?
Are there any local guideposts that have like business directories and such?
You guys can, just by walking in, you can actually see on your HUD, it says, "Welcome to Tech Noir. If you wish to see a visual guide, click here." kind of on the top right of your displays.
He's literally just control Fing for like VI or anything, basically a couple keywords.
All right, not too far from where you are. There's the VI marketplace software shop, and then there's Hank's programming. Hank's VI programming.
What kind of clientele do they seem to have, if we can see from here?
The clientele for the VI shops is basically just standard netizens, although typically of a little bit of a higher clientele than most other places. The kind of upper middle class seems to be the prices for a lot of the different VIs they sell here, and they make custom ones. And then there's Hank's VI shop, which is more for like low end custom stuff, where a guy can basically make you one for a decent price.
But the quality is lower. Like you're getting much more custom
the quality
stuff
is the quality is lower unless you pay him a lot. In which case he can make you something high quality if you want, but it's going to cost you a little extra. He can either give you something that's really really awesome but really expensive, or basic and functional but cheap.
Whereas the other place, you could find a decent high quality.
It's more in between. It's like it's the middle between the two extremes.
In that case, he'll look between the two and look back at the others in party chat and say, for what we're looking for, we probably wouldn't be able to find it over there in the off-the-rack merchandise. We'll probably need to get a custom job. And if they can't make it, they can probably point us in the right direction.
Oh, by the way, when Asuka steps off the train, she will switch avatars to one she's had saved from previous digital web excursions.
Awesome.
Oh my!
And they're you kind of like people looking at you, kind of get a some of the icons get some nod bad faces.
Obama's everywhere.
And you guys can hear the clattering thunder in the sky, and sometimes there's little morphs of fog and smoke emerging from the different sewer grates, and the different lights from the cars kind of pull through the smoke. And there's definitely like this very Blade Runner cyberpunk vibe to the city. Altered carbon quality to this specific sector.
All right, well, if you need a custom job done, let's go get you a custom job.
Make it sound so horrible. I'm just kidding. In all seriousness, he'll start heading over towards Hank's.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys start heading towards Hank's. You guys kind of have to move through the alleys to get to this place. Sometimes you see some digital entities kind of play out some atmospheric, almost scripts to kind of bring out the feel in the city. So you see a couple of goons kind of, threatening this one guy for information. You see a variety of different loud and brutal conversations echoing through the different windows and buildings of the city. And as you're making your way through, there's this one garage door that has a garage door and a door kind of in between this larger section of a kind of wider alley between several buildings. And there is this, and basically on the top of it has these neon lights that says Hank's Place. But right now it seems to be closed.
Does it have Does it have listed hours, or?
According to listed hours, it should be open. You can try the door. That's next to the garage door.
He'll give it a knock.
Hold on one second, guys.
Well, Ian sketches lightsaber.
So, you give it a knock. And eventually, after a little bit, you hear a couple of really large sounding thuds. And when the doors open, you see this very large 8-foot tall icon. And this is like appearance 5, intimidation 5 level of an icon. It's very tall, very large. It has a very big, obviously augmented arm with this kind of beehive-like cybernetic eye in its right eye, with a kind of mixed ethnic appearance, very hard, rugged face. It says, "Hey, what do you want?"
Greetings, program.
I'm not a program.
Twitch.
We
We're
need
in
a
the market
custom virtual intelligence.
What are you looking for exactly?
Extremely high end, either an administrative model or a guardian model.
He kind of taps a couple. He kind of looks at his hand and shows you a variety of pricings, and says, "If you want something high end like a guardian model, it'll probably cost you around. I'm gonna probably do it for you for 15 units. If you give me a little more time with an administrative model, I could do it for 10. If you want both combined together, I could do it for you, but it'll cost me 20 units and it'll give me some time. And you'll also give me a lot more specifics than just administration and guardian. I'm not very creative." He just kind of smiles.
So he is a program. But in all seriousness, if the combination would be the highest grade you could create, then that's what I would be in the market for. However, I do not happen to have 20 units on me. In fact, because I can transfer Quint, but I don't have that level on me at the time.
You don't have to worry about transferring.
You're able to harvest it?
Yeah. I've learned some tricks, made a couple programs. All you have to do is put the intent in there.
Well, since it would take you some time to create it, perhaps we could arrange a payment plan, but you would need something
I don't
up
do
front.
payment plans. You pay up front or you don't get it at all.
Well, that was rather the idea, but I'm not going to be able to simply... Because remember, it takes Prime 4 to just like create task units, and that's not very common. Let's see. Try and check something real fast. I thought somewhere on here I did actually have it written.
If you had Prime, just remember, do you have Prime 3, Solon?
Yes.
Remember, you can find tasks within the digital web.
You can?
I'd say you can. Tasks can show up anywhere. It's still a part of the Umbra.
Oh, okay. In that case, we will, I guess, go and try and find some. And if we're able to procure the right amount, we'll come back with details.
All right. Sounds
Might
like a
take
plan.
a little while.
Yeah. Don't take too long. Is there anything else? What about you two? You looking in the market for something?
No, I'm satisfied with what I have. Thank you, though.
And what about you, Obi-Wan?
Nope. Jedi's happy
That was
with his
the quickest
lightsaber.
nope I've heard.
Nope.
All right, all right.
Taps his lightsaber, walking out.
Fair
So
enough.
civilized.
You get me the units and show them to me, and I'll get started. Deal, Mister. What's your handle? What's Eric's online handle that appears above his icon?
Probably Elder. Because
All right,
that is
Elder.
his virtual adept identity.
All right, Elder. We'll keep in touch. Sent your friend request. And the door closes.
Well, that's... He looks at the others. That's, if it wasn't obvious, that's 20 units of quintessence.
Oh,
Yeah, units is like the standard term for like various different currencies. It's like the one currency that all current virtual currencies are kind of translated into, which is basically quintessence.
That's a lot of quintessence.
It is.
So, OC, I was utterly unaware there was a way to get TAS on the digital web. That's actually really awesome.
Yeah, because TAS is just quintessence that's kind of just emerged from. I need to read the specifics, but basically it can kind of emerge anywhere. And since the digital web is a zone within the Umbra, I would totally think that you can find TAS within the Umbra.
Of course, any spots where it's likely to pop up are probably guarded, but
potentially, but they can show up anywhere. And you have correspondence too, so you can scry for where they could, right when they pop up, and head right over there before anyone else does.
That's fair. Would it be safe to bet that doing that in a highly trafficked area like this, though, would probably be a waste of time because anything's going to be picked up really fast?
Not necessarily. Not all programs or digital entities are necessarily aware of it. Some might hang around it and pick it up. Some might not. It's incredibly varied. Sometimes even the more concentrated the sector you're in, the more likely they are to pop up.
Actually, better
Oscar
question.
looks over.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oscar actually looks over at Eric. What about that pool?
It's possible. I was actually going to try.
You saw there was one in that pool. There was one prime signature that was pretty strong, that you could see was a virtual entity of some description that had some firewalls around itself. But traveling in that pool, you would have to get past the guards, and you would also have to very carefully navigate it.
And there's also the entity there, which could be extremely dangerous.
It could be.
He'll pass that along since he saw that through Prime Sight, that the pool might be guarded. Since I have Data 3, would it actually be possible to do kind of a wide-ranging scan? Like, not necessarily just this sector, but like through a couple nearby conduits into neighboring sectors?
Basically, you could do that with this Data 2.
Oh, okay. Because he's looking for like a really broad sweep that's just going to pick up prime signatures that are similar to TAS.
Okay, so that would be a Data 2, Prime 1 magic roll.
Okay, it's coincidental. And that means it's going to be first round.
What instrument are you using? What instrument are you using?
BCU, like I use for basically everything.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so essentially it's a program that's going to pass over the intervening space in the digital web really quickly. It's kind of like in the Hunt for Red October movie where they're like, hey, at the speed those guys are going, they could run over my daughter's stereo and not hear it. Because he's looking for large deposits of quintessence. Anything that's just like, oh, this guy's got a couple. Oh, look, there's a piece that appeared by a sewer grate over here. No, it's not going to pick that up. We're talking it's only going to pick up larger deposits.
Well, it's not necessarily. You'll get if there is TAS, you will pick it up. It's not a matter of.
Saying the big ones are highlighted.
Okay, yeah, the big ones will be highlighted, but you'll still be able to see the small deposits too. Because I don't necessarily, unless you specifically program to say like, okay, lower deposits I don't want.
Which that's just filtering the results when he gets it. That's not a big deal. Okay, so I'll make the roll in. That's base diff of 5.
While someone's doing that, is there anything else you guys are willing to do? Also, Solon, I'm going to say since you're trying to, you're looking across realms, right? Like across conduits. I'm saying is what you're saying.
From one part of the digital web to the next, yes, through the conduits.
Okay, so you'll need 4 successes to pull off that big of an effect.
Okay.
So in the meantime, while Elder seems to be kind of going into almost Aegis kind of mode, where his eyes roll in the back of his head and does his magic casting. What are you guys doing?
I mean, Gusk is just watching him do his thing because she has nothing to contribute at this point.
Curiously
What
looking
about you,
around,
Ben?
really. Curiously looking around, really, because I have nothing to contribute either. The Exotic is just like, ooh, cyberpunk, ooh, this thing, ooh, that thing. You know, it's that type of attitude, just exploring everything and looking around at it.
Kind of short little midget-looking guy looks towards you two, and at least to the two of you, and says, "Well, damn, you guys got some cool icons. What are you doing over here?"
We are sightseeing. Yes.
In front of Hank's
And
place?
nothing else.
Oh, we got a mysterious wisecracker over here. Cool.
We are.
So you guys are just gonna not be social and just kind of be quiet, just standing there?
We're busy having a conversation of our own, good sir. Yes. Fuck. Sketch just kind of looks over like.
I thought you guys weren't really talking at all. Shit. But fine. If you guys don't want to talk, we'll just go. We'll just kind of start walking away. What a bunch of unsocial. I'm not going to say it on scene, but he says a specific homosexual slur.
Oh dear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oscar just rolled her eyes.
Well, that wasn't nice.
So
You're on the internet.
And this is why we don't talk to Americans.
this is why I don't talk to sleepers that are on here. Though some of them are nice. You seem to have the attention of one earlier sketch.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I mean, of course, yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
50-50 shot, she had a
keep the
penis.
VR rig. Wait, what?
50-50 shot, she had a penis.
And it
Probably.
wouldn't matter out here.
I mean, out here,
Um,
that's
also,
still a
I-
50-50 shot.
A idea streaks through your thought that maybe Sketch isn't fully aware that an icon doesn't necessarily have to correspond to the gender of the person that's in the will.
I think sketch.
And
could
Oscar's
figure
just
that
saying,
out.
you know what? It doesn't matter what gender that person is. It's still a 50-50 shot they have a penis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good point. I got 6 successes, by the way.
You got 6 successes. Okay. So what we're going to say is because you're not doing any damage, you're putting all of those into duration. So this is going to last. So you actually have this map out and reading of your surroundings for a whole year. At least this map
Jesus.
out that you have at this moment. Yeah.
So that's 2 to effect and 4 to duration. Then okay.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
So Sketch, you scan all around you, and you see a lot of different at least a couple different task deposits. One concentration seems to be on the top of a skyscraper, where there seems to be a lot of different lightning strikes occurring in that location. There seems to be a deposit, you can tell, where there's a lot of vehicles, and there seem to be street racing types going on, and units seem to be a prize pool, or you could steal it. That's another option too, but that can give you some problems. There's another
Sketch.
section.
Either
know
way,
what-
it's a
I
pretty
know what-
sketchy thing to do.
I know what icon that sketch wants to have now. If he hears that,
1 second.
He's going to totally roll up as Vin Diesel.
no, that's not what I meant. What I was actually referring to was this number.
Right now, there seems to be a really big concert, and like the very sweat of all of the different programs that are having the time of their lives seems to also be producing tasks.
So you're telling me
weird,
I need to go up to people and ask if I can have their sweat?
Or you could just scrape it off the ground.
Ew.
I can just see old white-haired buff dude walking through the concert. Excuse me, coming through. Just scraping the tass up off the ground.
Important business.
You see that there's a flower shop within the Transcendent Marketplace that seems to have some tasks.
Oh, please tell me it's Aerith's flower shop.
Not quite. I don't even know what that is, honestly.
Final Fantasy VII.
I haven't played Final Fantasy VII.
What you're saying is you haven't been traumatized by Final Fantasy VII. Got it.
Pretty much. We'll go with that. And you can also see there's like this in that previous area that you were in with all the different like kind of techno hippie stuff with all the different performances. There is one wellspring there, and there's kind of like this field of like programs that tend to make kind of magic mushroom programs, and some of those mushrooms have tasks as well.
Oh my god. Sketch is probably headed straight there.
No,
Yeah,
I think
Obi Wan
Sketch
is
probably
suddenly-
would have heard the stealing shit.
There's
And
so
there
many options
is-
for sketch.
And let me see. I'm just trying to think of one more because it will make sense with the amount of successes you have. There is one skyscraper with a window, and you can't. The way the wards are set up in that place, you can only see like some strange array of colors. You can't specifically see what's inside, but there is like a lot of tasks there.
Wow.
A lot of tasks, not ass.
Although there is a lot of ass in the techno hippie place.
All right. Obi-Wan suddenly stands
All of
firm.
that information will be shared to you guys, just so you know.
Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi stands firm. There's a techno hippie place. There's a lot of mushrooms. Or we could steal from the street racers.
Do I have an estimate of how much energy was in that prize?
We could steal the
It's got like
prize.
several different prize pools, but the whole total prize pool together, we'll say 6 units of tasks.
How many?
6 units.
Only 6? If we stole
6.
everything?
If you stole everything, look, units can be like traded in for currency, and like 1 unit can give you like millions of worth of currency for 1 unit. That's how valuable units are.
Right. We are
Okay.
stealing this.
In other
Turns and looks
words,
at everybody.
if Asuka wanted to actually straight up purchase the damn thing, it would be something that she'd have to sign off on. It probably wouldn't.
You would have to sign off on it. Like, units are very, very fucking valuable.
Yeah,
So-
and
so
it
what you're
pro-
telling
and
me
the
is-
syndicate agent would be going, really?
So what you're telling me is if
It depends on the
any
currency.
if any character were able to create tasks in the digital web, they would be sitting on a fortune.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Yes, you like quintessence is very valuable, and I kind of want to hit that home with that. Like mages typically, if they play around with Prime, are very rich, for a reason.
Okay. Let's get to save. We are stealing that.
Asuka suddenly gets an idea, and she goes to bring up an interface to access her own computer, and
Okay.
since she's long time ago, she built a VI for somebody, and she's hoping she kept the program in a copy.
What is it?
Remember Jinx?
To be fair, you probably would. I don't think it's fair to say you have a copy of it because it's really hard to copy a what amounts to a familiar.
She programmed it. Remember, she would only have the program, not the essence that makes it a familiar.
So you're saying just like a
you have the
maybe
software
able to
installed
cheapen
basically
this.
where the core programming, i.e., the spirit, would be.
Yeah.
So it's basically just a advanced program, not a like full on VI familiar, etc.
Yeah, it's straight up dumb program. Can't be a VI until spirit is infused into it.
Gotcha.
Or awoken.
Yeah, either way.
So you're checking to see if that's still on your computer?
Yep.
Roll me intelligence
Sketch looks-
computers difficulty 7.
Okay.
And what were you saying, Sketch?
Sketch is gonna look at Eric. We gotta figure out a way to steal that thing. It's a lot of prize money, and it's too much to leave to chance. So, we gotta come up with a plan.
Deuce.
Well, if the prize is that valuable, it's likely being guarded. It might even be warded. And what are the street rules around here? Like, are they effectively? It's open territory, so derezzing would be a thing if you were to take too much damage.
Yeah, derezzing would be a thing. I mean, these are full-on street races, so you could get into a really bad crash, and your icon can take a lot of damage.
Now, what I'm wondering is, if it's a full open space, that means that whoever we encounter, if we were trying to fight them, they could be armed with whatever they were smart enough and able to create.
Yes.
That applies to us too, right?
I mean, hey, I would assume you guys would prepare. I mean, if you guys want to go in unprepared, that's fine.
We are
I'm
not
happy with
going
that.
to do this Tales of the Borderlands style.
I'm gonna say like I'm kind of getting like I think because this was like an information gathering scene, so I think we may have a part 2, but in about 15 minutes, I kind of want to have some other stuff to do today, so I think, and I know Ben has to go.
Pause then.
Yeah, so I think you guys can we can still go for another 15 minutes, but
Yeah, I was about to say before we do, I did get 2.
okay, you did get 2. Okay, so you managed to find deep within your computer. It actually took you a while because it was buried under a lot of files, but it's still there. It's not entirely complete. Some of it seems to
It's an older iteration.
Yeah, it's an older iteration, so you may have to program it a little bit. But if you do take some time to program it, it'll work.
She looks over at Eric. I've got a program. It might reduce the cost. I can change the personality. I'm sure you won't want the personality I installed in it first.
I can also get those people to party harder if they drip more. It means you can extract more sweat as well.
I mean, that is the least likely to get us killed.
And there's mushrooms, he says excitedly.
And there's
And
mushrooms.
I mean, we would need quite a lot of sweat and quite a lot of mushrooms, but
You
far
leave that
less
to me.
risky.
I'm the ecstatic after all. I know what I'm doing. Obi-Wan pops his collar.
This is true. And I do like the idea that doesn't get us stuck fighting a group of street racers who could have anything up to and including an attack helicopter.
This is the
Actually,
digital
they
web,
could
Elder. You know they'd have all sorts of fucking bullshit. Think of
They
like
could have-
if you watch Ready Player One, like sometimes it's like that. They can have like an infinite trunk space of stuff, and they can like pull out who knows what the fuck.
Oscar just looked at him. They could have Starscream.
They could.
Yep.
So let's let the aesthetic do his thing, and I'll transfer the program to you, and you tell me what alterations you need made.
OC, slightly confused. What is she wanting us to do with Jinx?
Well, it's an older iteration of the Jinx program, so she's basically telling him, I'll give you this program that allows the VI to do all the things that you want. I'm just wanting to know what sort of personality you want programmed into it. Because you don't want
we
Jinx.
Would give this. So you're saying we would basically be giving like the programming aspect to this guy as a baseline? Because if he's making a custom work of art, he may not want it, but it's worth a shot.
It would make his job significantly easier. It's like, oh, all I gotta do is like a 5-minute job. Hey, I'm good.
Well, to be fair, the only issue is Jinx, when they were first created, was a rank 1 familiar, meaning the programming wasn't that intense. So if we were to do that,
the program is adaptable to any level of familiar that you want.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
get
how
it.
awakened do you want it to be.
I get what you're saying. It might be useful. It might get him to knock off a tiny bit of the price or something. We can find out. Oh. But yeah, definitely sounds like a plan if we can do the sweat and mushrooms thing rather than try and go full ham and try to steal things, because that's not. Let's not do the throwing of hands. That will end with teams.
We are not equipped to be that sort of badass.
I mean, if you were all joining the Knuckles clan.
No, all of us are spindly nerds.
Yeah.
Who have obscenely high strength ratings and illusory health levels. But, I mean, still, that won't help you much. Take a tank round.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is entering the dance floor, finally. So he's bopping around in his Jedi robes.
Oh, wait, you guys have gone? I thought you guys were standing in the alley. I thought you guys have gone to go back to...
Obi-Wan gone.
I'm guessing you used the hot link you had?
Yeah, I was going to that party. Yeah, that's where Sketch is going.
Okay. So you as Obi-Wan and all these other... So you suddenly you guys, as you were talking, Sketch is gone without you realizing it. Sketch, let's move on to your perspective for a little bit, and maybe we'll close things off once we're there. You begin to go into this high-end, like this pretty nice dance club, and like basically this high-end like techno music begins to play. And do you have Prime set up?
Yes, I do actually. Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. So you actually see there's quintessence everywhere, but there seems to be like this formalization of quintessence that's pooling off like this like the actual sweat of these programs as they're dancing in the middle of this really crowded space. And you can see a couple of what might be a couple netizens around here, but the music is loud. It fits your kind of tastes almost perfectly, and it's everywhere around here.
All right.
There's a good amount of it here. Not you know.
He needs to use the Hoover app for this. Wet dry vac.
Okay, so what Sketch is going to do is with the I'm assuming they have a DJ kit or something like that playing around as people are dancing around essentially for where the DJ booth is.
Yeah, basically.
I'm going to use a Matter 2 effect to basically increase its productivity, essentially, so it plays faster, it plays more energetic. I'm basically going to make it go faster, so people begin to dance more heavily.
Okay.
I'm also going... Yeah. That's the first thing I'm going to try to do.
Okay, so what sphere are you using?
Matter.
Hello?
I'm using Matter.
Matter.
He's trying to alter the equipment.
Alter the equipment? Yeah. Okay. Matter 2.
Yep.
Sure. So how do you do that, Sketch?
So, ironically, my foci for Matter is dancing, so this is perfect. So Obi-Wan Kenobi buckles his lightsaber as tightly as he can and begins to jive his way through the dance floor, like gliding left to right and left around the place, yeah, Sister God, everybody, you know what I mean? Like grinding his way left, like, stripping down his robes essentially as well, and like begins to literally like breathe his way through, he is no longer Obi-Wan Kenobi. It is now Dance Kenobi has entered the building, as he begin to focus on that DJ set, and as he begins to bop his beat then his dancing becomes more aggressive. It's almost like he's trying to attune the DJ boot to his dancing, and almost as if they're becoming one, essentially.
Okay. So, fun fact about the digital web, Sketch.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's a technological origin, your magic, even though it's coincidental, no one can tell, it's vulgar without witnesses. So you will take a point of paradox for this.
Worth it. We need that.
So
you
will need at least 2 successes for this effect.
Right.
I'll
drop a point of Quint.
Okay. So your difficulty is going to be 6 minus 1 because you spent Quint. You can take extra time if you wish. Okay, fantastic. You got 2 successes. So you begin to modify the web a little bit around you and the materials of the web, and you can go ahead and describe your intended effect and how it appears with 2 successes worth. I will let you narrate from here.
As Dance Kenobi enters around, he begins to jive almost aggressively at people, like his arms flaying around, robes flying off in every different directions. It's almost as if the people basically essentially making the people sweat with him, as they begin to jive around. If you've ever seen that bit in the Matrix Reloaded with the underground dance bit, it's almost like that. As the DJ begins to turn it up, the music becomes far more primal, far more deep and resonant, and everyone just begins to get closer. As he just brings the whole place in this chorus of primal energy and primal dancing, essentially.
Yeah, and then that's definitely what happens. You resonate the place, and you see a little bit more TAS that's excreting from everyone's, from a lot of the program's bodies here, and everything just begins to rile up. And what you think, if there was a little bit more activity put into here, more people here, this place could potentially turn into a wellspring.
All right. The DJ. I'm going to use a mind effect to increase the level of
Remember, you take a point of docs for that, so we'll record that.
Yep, I'll take 2 paradox for this. I'll take another point. I can afford it. He will. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that euphoria, that sense of thrill, and sense of and I've basically he will also message the guys and be like, if you guys can help me because I'm taking some shit here. But he was also trying to increase that guy's euphoria and that rise. So basically, he'll start calling out more people. And basically, he's the orchestrator. So I'm going to make the orchestrator of the whole place that much more excited about what he's doing. Because if he's more excited, well, more people are going to hear about it. More people are going to turn up. If he performs well, people are going to go nuts.
Yeah, and that is and that isn't for the record.
Mm-hmm.
So, the record's on. Fuck you.
I see you're trying to turn up the beat. Would you like some help with that?
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Would you like some help with that? I can help.
Oh, damn it.
No, not now, Clippy.
Would you tell them where you are at least?
Yes.
Like you took that other link?
Mm-hmm. I'm in the rave.
Okay.
It's going well. I need more help. We can make a spring.
We'll go there then.
The thing is, you don't know if they had the capacity to, before you do this, you don't know if they had the capacity to harvest quintessence from a wellspring.
It types immediately. You guys have a capacity to harvest quintessence from a wellspring. That would be nice. That's Kenobi can only go for so long.
No, that's Prime 4. But if you're getting them in character, if you're getting them to be more active, they'll produce more, and I can scoop it up from the ground.
Oh yeah, like I'm at the point where I can make a wellspring from all that I'm producing.
Yeah, I'm just saying I lack the ability to tap it. However, I got an idea if the ST is willing to let me try this.
All right, what are you trying to do?
I'm going to open up a link to our new friend, the guy that we met in the gimmicks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, once we get to the rave, I'm going to give him the hot link to the rave and say, hey, wellspring forming, if you know a guy who knows a guy, good place for people to harvest a bit. But if you give out the link, might need a little bit in trade on it.
I'll also send a message.
Just get a message back.
He's offering a link to awesome quintessence if you have the skill.
He's going to be like, you're going to get the link saying, "Ooh, yummy," and then, "Thank you."
I also send a link to that girl as well, who was like, doing all the flirty Friday. I mean, say, "Bring your friends. There's a rave. Let's get naked with Obi-Wan Kenobi."
And she's like,
I mean, it's an open server. There's no PG-13 limits, just the YouTube limits.
"On my way, honey." You get a message back.
Yeah, so
You find out later that's actually George Takei.
oh my.
And you suddenly don't care.
But yeah, as the two arrive, they find Dance Kenobi literally on the dance floor, like getting progressively more naked.
Not quite naked, but definitely racy. Kind of pepper levels of clothes.
The only thing that's missing is a pole dancing Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi making it rain.
All you need is a Mace Windu. Now you need Mace Windu too.
Oh my god.
So what's the plan? What are you guys up to?
I mean, we're going to go to the party.
Okay, you guys go to the party. Like I described for Sketch earlier, it's like this kind of enclosed area with all of these different programs and a decent number of netizens now dancing in here, having the fucking time of their life. Those with Prime Sight can see, there's quintessence being excreted from these individuals.
Also this.
Yes! Yes!
I'm going to say that as the DJ sees the Obi-Wan dancing like a fucking baller, that happens too.
Someone puts on the Anakin gif and just starts
one
dancing.
netizen puts on Anakin Skywalker icon and just starts dancing like really maddeningly with Obi-Wan, and it's actually not a half bad looking icon too.
However, there is one thing that I could do that would instantly get us at least a couple dozen more people to join this activity.
What's Sketch's sexual orientation?
Sketch is bi.
Yes.
Sketch's sexual orientation is yes.
You now see why the virtual adepts love the digital web. That's all I'm saying.
Hey. I know a way to get a couple dozen more people here, at least to bring in some live bodies, and they might actually enjoy this because it's so awesome that they wouldn't actually disrupt it.
What do you have in mind?
All I have to do is click this button.
Oh no.
The web would cause that.
If you do that, Oscar will send out an invite to some progenitors she knows.
I mean,
with what you know about certain people and programs within the web, not many people appreciate Ugandan Knuckles. That's all I'm saying.
This is Russian Knuckles. Oh, just kidding.
Russian, just Knuckles in general. That Knuckles made in general.
I know. So
let's just say this place is a little more progressive.
So I'm assuming with Prime Sight, I'm very soon going to see a couple high-end adepts come in and start just.
You see two. You see two kind of pop in, and they're just kind of in the back of the room, just kind of their arms are crossed, and they seem to be just kind of bopping to the beat. They have some hood. They kind of have black hoods up, and they're just kind of jamming, and they kind of going to the bar area that towards the back.
Is here.
Huh?
You're telling me Darth Sidious is
more
here?
More like techno punk kind of looking guys that have goggles around their eyes and stuff like that, or they have sci-fi looking cyberpunky fashion going.
What he's actually going to
no Sith robes.
He's going to send them a private message and just be like, hey, indicating in virtual adept speak, he's basically going to indicate, because I think this is a fairly standard thing. He's going to indicate, hey, we're the ones who got this. We pushed this party up to the level it's at now. I don't mind anyone coming in and grabbing some, but would appreciate it if we got maybe a 10% courtesy, essentially. But it's virtual adepts. We ain't forcing it on you.
They say, look, you can have the task is yours. We just want the stuff from the wellspring.
Fair enough. I mean, we were going to get the task anyways, but at least there's more of it now. So, yay, I'll go with that.
Oh, you wanted a 10% from the wellspring itself.
What I was saying is 10% of whatever these guys managed to reap from the wellspring is what I was suggesting.
Okay, and they're like, fair enough. They'll be like, fair enough. Why not?
Yeah, because they're making out like bandits here. All they had to do was show up, and it's like,
they're making out here like bad. They're making a lot of fucking quintessence out of this.
I got enough for a vacation in Bahamas now.
Okay, is anything any magical effects you guys are doing to increase the amount of tasks that's here?
I could probably try to use a mind effect to supplement what he's doing, and I wouldn't have the paradox issue.
Did you perform the mind effect yet, Sketch?
I'm about to know.
Okay, you need 2 successes. More successes. The higher the ecstasy from the guy.
Yes, Ben?
I got an idea. Data.
I got what?
I'm going to use data to try and... If I need another sphere for this, let me know, but she's going to try and really increase the sound quality.
That'd be data forces, I think?
You need forces for that.
I got 3 successes.
Okay, one at a time. First Sketch. Okay, so you got 3 successes. The fucking DJ starts going fucking bananas and is like just programming the music and timing everything perfectly, and all of a sudden the entire room begins to become like a wave of emotion. You take a point of paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Asuka.
But the 2 guys in the back look really grateful.
The 2 guys in the back look really grateful, and Solon, the wellspring is beginning to emerge in this place. It's beginning to swirl and come up in this place.
Okay, since he was affecting the... Sorry, what was your idea, Ben? You were going to try and increase the acoustics, basically?
Yes, Ben, you go next.
That would be... I got data 3 and forces 1. Will that do it?
You need forces 2 to actually manipulate the sound waves themselves.
Well, no, it's not the sound waves she's manipulating. It's the equipment.
That wouldn't be forces. That would be a matter effect to increase the quality of the equipment.
And that's matter 3 that I've got.
And you only need, so, and by the way, you wouldn't need data because it's within sensory range.
Okay, so
the equipment's right there.
Just matter then?
Yeah, you just need matter.
Okay.
What level do you need to use?
2 or 3. 3 would probably really it would almost take the equipment, the actual equipment up a level. And I'd say you need 3 successes to pull this effect off.
Okay, that's going to be base diff.
So let me do the difficulty stuff. It's going to be coincidental because you're using First of all, what instrument are you using? How are you doing this?
Let me see what she's got. Most of the shit she uses her data pad for.
All right, yeah, the data pad is fine.
All right.
Is it like a unique focus or anything like that? Or is it just a normal focus?
It's a unique focus. She built it herself.
Is it what sphere is it tied to?
Matter.
Okay, then you get a -1. So that would be you're using matter 2 or 3.
3.
So right now the diff is 5.
Right.
You need 3 successes.
Burning willpower.
And you can always spend extra time to another turn. Unfortunately,
simple failure.
Just a simple failure. You attempt to. You don't quite get enough successes. However, you can take another action.
Doing it.
To get more, but the difficulty will now be 6.
Still doing it.
Oh, nice. 4 successes.
I burnt a willpower on it.
You guys literally see the equipment begin to become more sleek, more advanced, more efficient, and the sound quality itself of the equipment in this room begins to become fucking bananas. It's really,
This is the sound equipment
really
now.
It's almost like technologic, the level of technology. You can even describe what it looks like. That's Asuka, since it's your magical.
No. Salin's got it.
Yeah, basically that's what it looks like. And the sound quality is great, and there's even more tasks being produced, and the wellspring is fucking bananas.
This
At
is
the
what
very moment.
happens when Iteration X is your sound crew.
Yeah. The bass is heavy and shakes your souls. The music is nice, crisp, and just gives that nice crunch right into your eardrums. And even if you guys aren't like so musically inclined, you kind of want to dance along with the music. It's that cool. All right, Solon. There's 7 units worth of tasks that you can harvest from the sweat and just from the nascent air that people breathe in this place.
Here's the thing. So Sketch has done his part to get the music turned up to be a bit faster, and he got the DJ working like a madman. Asuka's got the sound system pumping out like crazy, and they both invited some people. Eric feels like he needs to contribute to make this just a little bit more off the hook.
Okay.
Just a little. See, that's why we have Mind 3.
Oh my god. Okay.
And he's essentially going to, it's basically amplifying exactly what's already here. Like just what you were describing, where like, even if you're not musically inclined, this is such mundanely good quality. Like, and when I say mundane, I don't mean bad. I mean, this is not magical at the moment. It's just enhanced sound, enhanced, quality of people, but it's still producing right now what is mundane music. It's awesome, incredibly good music that makes you just want to dance, but it's still, it's non-magical at this moment. Mind effect going to let off in the middle of this room plus data, which is essentially going to make this into, it is now actively giving people the urge to dance, compulsion, dance harder, etc. It's not like, it's not designed to be harmful to them. Like they're not going to dance until they drop, but it's going to increase the passion level.
With all of the gathered crowd here, you won't necessarily be able to affect the programs themselves, but you can affect the netizens that are here, and they're on 10. So the base effect, so it'll be, since you're using your crane, 3 plus 3 minus 2, so that's 4. So the difficulty will be 4. You'll be able to affect, you'll need around 3 successes just for the effect alone, because I don't want to go into like kicking off the effect because that'll take too long. You'll need 3 successes to actually affect one person, and then every success beyond the base will give you another netizen that will be affected, and it can spread, remember.
Okay. Let's see, starting.
See, this is what happens.
Oh, did you botch? Oh, no.
No, I failed.
This is what happens with Cult of X, a VA, and an Iteration X get together for a fucking party.
Yeah.
Now all we need is a progenitor to be the caterer for the snacks.
Seriously. And you said you brought progenitor friends?
She's, you know what? She's got friends on the inside that are friendly. She's gonna invite them.
And suddenly a bunch of really nerdy people using bad icons show up.
Pretty much. They show up nearby, and they have some. They actually do have food dishes prepared, and they're kind of giving people food who are like taking a break from all the crazy dancing towards the side.
Rejuvenating them for the next round. Oh wait, God, you didn't invite psychopharmacopiists, did you?
No. She only knows one of those.
Good. Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. Trying to
No,
get
these guys are straight bioscience.
Okay, you said 3 to kick it off.
3 for the effect itself.
Okay.
Every other beyond the base will help you affect one other netizen.
Okay.
So you got 2.
And I'm going to burn my last available willpower. That drops me to willpower 1. I can't go beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means I am affecting 4 people at this point.
Yep.
And
3.
if I continue, it's getting up to prohibitively
Yep,
difficult.
so you actually affect 5 because you have 3 successes plus 4.
Okay. You're right,
So
because
you
I
affect-
forgot it counts 1 initially.
So you affect 5 people.
Cool.
So
Quarter of the
those
people
extra netizens. So those extra netizens are very visibly like producing a little bit more TAS off of their icons, and they're almost like the whole room becomes like one organism almost, and they dance together and move together and follow the beat exactly at the same time, and the resonance here is almost divine. If that's the only way I can explain it. It feels like you have brought a little bit of God to this place. So I'm gonna do the ritual for these virtual adepts who are about to get a lot.
Dimitri tried so hard for so many years to get his cult going, and Asuka does it in a fucking night with 2 dudes that aren't union.
I know, right?
She's so gonna email him about this.
Oh, well, one of the VA's botches, which isn't good.
He botches and dumps his own quintessence onto the ground. No!
The other one has a little bit. And the other one isn't having a good time, but he spends a willpower, so he gets a little bit of quintessence out of it, but they're going to spend a little bit more time. One is like trying to scramble, like you can see Elder. One towards the right is like fucking shit, like he's waving his hand like crazy. Fuck. You can hear him in the background. There is now a whopping. You can tell Elder because of your cranial computer calculates it and looks at all the tasks that's here. There's 8 units of tasks here.
8 points, you said?
8 points worth of quintessence.
He's using the shop vac on this one.
So are you going to be harvesting it with Prime and all that?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, because I can pull off a task. I just can't pull off a wellspring.
In order to pull, if you want to suck up all the tasks, you'll need 4 successes. And but you'll only need 2, and that will give you 2 points worth of
This one's
quintessence.
coincidental, so that's.
Yep.
Okay.
So, but what instrument are you using? Because yes, you have your cranial computer, but that's more for mind to get the -2. You can still use your cranial computer,
I
but you won't get the
that
-2
is
because it's
the
more for
personal
mind.
instrument I use for pretty much all of my magic, though. That's the thing. Most of what this character does is written through code, and it's all different programs done through reality hacking through his BCU. They don't
Okay,
really hold
fair.
people to the you have to use a separate instrument for each sphere thing.
They don't. Yeah, that's true. So you can do that, but yeah, fair enough. So it's coincidental. Base difficulty is 6, -2 because of your cranial computer. But wait, Solon, your cranial computer, is it what sphere is it associated with?
That's the thing. They don't do that here. They don't associate one instrument specifically with a sphere. Not everyone does that here.
Huh. I'll have to talk to Evan about
If you're
that.
using it's a unique personal instrument, as in it's something unique to you. You've personalized it, yada yada. Then you get that for anything you're using that with. If you only use that for one sphere, cool. If you use it for all your spheres, cool.
Okay, I'll talk to Evan about that, but fair enough.
Asuka
so-
actually spread hers out among several instruments.
So
Yeah, same as
you have a difficulty of 4. You need at least 2 successes for the effect to work, but if you want to suck up all the quintessence, you'll need 4 successes.
Okay, I'll make my first roll. There went all my quintessence right on the ground.
Okay. So
I mean, it's coincidental.
Make him
Plus
do
it's
it
white
really
out
it
here.
is, but that's still a botch. Okay, Solon, how much paradox do you have on your sheet?
I have a total of 10.
So, everyone, everyone begins to experience lag.
Clippy appears to you, Sketch, and says, "You seem to be experiencing lag. You should disconnect."
Stolen. Roll me your paradox pool and a difficulty. Actually, no, I'm the one who's supposed to roll it. So that'll be 12 dice at difficulty 6, and I'm going to roll that. I'm rolling it.
Wait. Why is it? If I botched on that, why am I getting? And it's coincidental. Why did I get 2 paradox off of that?
Because when you botch a coincidental roll, you get paradox equal to the highest sphere of that cast. No, wait, you'd get 3. Because, oh god.
But wait. Paradox isn't the same thing as whiteout, though. It's only going to be one or the other. Either I get a paradox backlash or I start causing a whiteout. You don't do both.
Yeah, but a paradox backlash is a paradox backlash. No, Solon, a paradox backlash is a whiteout. That's the thing.
But
you botched your magical casting roll. You have a bunch of paradox built up within you. I'll double check the rules because this is important. Fair enough.
Because I don't think they cause whiteouts that way. Whiteouts are caused when you break the rules locally.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me check.
I'm on page 470. Let me see. When those limits get pushed by too much energy and information,
in game terms, a whiteout functions like any other paradox backlash. Page 470.
Associated, depend upon. Okay, it depends on the paradox pool, the person who provoked it. Bigger the pool, the longer the whiteout.
Yes. Okay. If you guys want to escape the whiteout before you get derezzed, I'll describe that in just a sec. But first, I'm going to roll the whiteout. Oh my god!
Oh my!
Well, I guess I get to use my new character.
Okay.
Wow!
So Saul won't be available for the bridge mission. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So
that permanently trashes the sector if that's how it works.
Yep. 1 second.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, you guys have 1 action to get the hell out of Dodge. Roll your wits and computers difficulty 8. I recommend spending a willpower point.
Spending a willpower point like a motherfucker. Christ.
Burning willpower.
Okay.
Fuck. I got 3 successes.
Wits, 3. Okay.
Jesus.
1. I got 2 successes.
Yeah, I got 3 with the willpower spend.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for the other adepts.
We lived, bitches.
He's okay.
I mean, the worst you guys would have had, you guys wouldn't have died. You guys would have suffered a hard derez.
With half the damage.
It only kills the person who causes it.
With half damage, yeah. Jesus.
Well, no, it's not even half damage. You guys just suffer a hard derez. It basically deals like...
So the
it's not even
whiteout...
a damage thing, it's a...
So, Solon, you take the paradox hit as well, because the whiteout effect it describes how the web works, but you still take...
Oh, the character's dead.
Yeah, at this point...
There's no roll or anything. The offender disappears. Like, literally.
Yeah.
If it was 7 or so, it would be chaos dump, and I might die, but I'd have a chance to survive. 10 plus, character dead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, luck of the draw.
So sorry, man. Fuck. Okay.
Damn.
So you 1 point. Okay, so because you still got 10 so it was a 10 successes flaw or paradox hit. You actually won't die. You take 1 die of so basically, Solon, you're completely knocked out and you get kicked out of the server, and both of you log off. And
Wait. How does that?
1 point of
if there were
paradox.
t-
1 point of paradox discharge per success. Mage also suffers a burn of 1 die of bashing damage per success. So
but
basically,
on
you
the
get
whiteout severity page of page 472, it says if you score 10 plus on the whiteout severity roll, which is basically what you roll for paradox backlash. That's what they call it, whiteout severity. Then if the number of successes is 10 plus, sector is trashed forever. Everyone inside that sector suffers a hard derez. And I mean, you can give them the lag option to escape, as you said. That's totally a thing. And the offender who caused it disappears, and the implication is you die because 7 plus.
But it doesn't say specifically that you die. It just says you disappear. So hang on, let me
7 plus.
Solon, do you want your character to die?
Arguing that your character dies. Stop telling the god that he can't give you the nice thing.
Look, I'm not saying this to be a dick. I'm just saying this is a publicly casted scene. If I let the storyteller save my character on this, I will never stop hearing about it.
Hold on.
And you know that's how that works.
Hold
That's
on.
also why
Let
I'm
me
arguing against it.
give me 3 minutes, or give me a minute. Let me just read all of the different outcomes of the backlash, and I'll get back to you in just a second. Is that cool?
Okay.
Okay.
I know this is rectum covering.
Sector.
I'm surprisingly sanguine. That's why I wrote a backup character.
Entire sector crashes, goes offline for duration. Fender disappears.
And 7 plus is chaos dumping, which is, if you recall, the thing which can legitimately kill you because it's that bad. So if it just says you fucking disappear, you're dead.
Yeah. Yep. If this was a normal backlash, you'd be fine, but nope, Yeah.
I have gone the way of Turing.
You have gone the way of Turing. So, okay, you guys all of a sudden, as you guys log off and take off your helmets, you see Elder in front of you. He also has his own equipment on. He doesn't have his own equipment on, but as you take your helmets off, he literally sprays and gets torn apart, and it disappears into an emergence of fractals. And you guys almost feel like you dodged a big one if you didn't log out in time. And you guys are sitting there and acting up on nights, and then one of the Toftani comes up and says, "Well, I guess that's what you get for fuddling around with the lie."
I mean, he's not even wrong.
Are you two okay?
Oh, do you know what I mean? There's this like sketches like, what? Like his mouth pops open, and just sheer like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you fuck around in the. That's what happens when you fuck around in the web.
Asuka just releases this long sigh.
And now her
Now I
PTSD
have
has a
to
new
write a
reason.
report.
Anyway, guys, Sketch, Asuka, what do you guys do from here?
Asuka has to go to the hotel she's staying at and go write a report.
All right, Sketch, what do you do?
Oh boy. Shit, I just lost Eric as well. Fuck, okay. Sketch is first of all going to send a message to Jewel, and then Sketch is going to go and buy drugs. And Sketch is going to be quite fucking miserable, and Sketch is going to go get high, because he just saw one of his friends literally just blow up, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh Jesus. That's where Sketch goes. Sketch goes to score, essentially. That's what Sketch is going to do. Oh.
Yeah. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin.